Uh, yeah, everyone's here, and we'll open up session with a nice little bulletin. You'll notice there is a second empty space in the roster. Unfortunately, due to life circumstances, work, schooling, and other life that always comes before D&D, whether we like it or not, Leroy will be getting tasked away on a mission. You guys will be finding this out after you leave the dungeon, however, but as we don't know how long that may be, I'll give the little blurb now before expanding on it later once you guys come across it. Leroy obviously was beset on watching the boat with Vim. Um, However, upon you guys hopefully arriving back and not dying down here, we'll have to find out if that happens. Um, Leroy will have gotten a specific message sent to him. Being very close to the water and specifically on a ship, there's a nice little ley line of communication that becomes available to him when he is on ship as compared to times that he isn't. Uh, with that came a summons, where he was beckoned away rather hastily. This summon was, of course, cleared and okayed by uh, Wild Bill Donovan with a particular issue relating to trade and embargoes and lost shipments around the area of Brazil, and something about transatlantic transport. So, Leroy will be looking into that and working with that for the foreseeable future, just as Wilhelm will be working with the Land Witches in Central Africa and their more aggressive operations for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, unable to say goodbye to you guys as he decided to delve down the elevator into the Basilica. He'll be able to send a nice message or a letter to you guys at a later point in time once he finds out where he is being restationed. But at the moment we last left off...
Once we find the note he pinned to the back of Vin.
Oh god, pinned to the back of his head, the sticky note. However, last we left off, Wondrous Company was delving their way through Syria. You guys have found your way to the western outskirts of Aleppo, where you have hit up multiple religious sites and ruins on your path to try to find where the Colossus of Rhodes may have been sold, where it may have been stored, what may have happened to it. You've pieced together some clues so far, and you've investigated some of the ruins. However, you came across what seems to be a old Byzantine basilica, and upon exploration, realized a very nice elevator dropped down quite deep, about 60 feet deep, before subsequently breaking and plummeting the remaining 15 feet. Landing at the bottom, realizing you couldn't exactly just rise back up if you needed to. Yeah, your next chance is to begin exploring this. What you guys came to find was marble and granite floors, very nice inlaid murals on the walls, at least what was still standing. Everything has sort of a trickle and sheen to it.
I thought you said there were no murals, because I remember commenting on that last week. That there was no art down here.
Where there would have been murals, it's that sort of chipped up, like, wall that looks like it may have had something on it, or like there would have been spaces for it. If I didn't say that, I probably should have. I was running as a last moment there. It looks like there would have been bits of, like, chipped up pottery and things like that put into the wall at one point. The occasional sconce or inlay that may have allowed for, like, a pod or a vase. You do see quite a few broken and smashed potwork and stuff laying around the ground and in the corners piled up. But the biggest thing to note is the occasional pile and abundance of what seems to be beach and ocean sand. And all the walls and a lot of the ceiling and a good part of the floor has a very thin layer of, or even small pools of what is just kind of built up moisture. Whether it's small trickling veins of water running down the walls from sources that shouldn't be leaking. You're in the middle of western Aleppo in Syria. There's no lakes, there's no rivers, there's shouldn't be anything of that sort. So this amount of moisture seems kind of odd. However, the water doesn't really seem to reflect the Mediterranean's water, or even the river that you were previously on. It seems to be a kind of foreign water. However, before you guys can fully start investigating that, as you began walking out, Nikos took a step into the blue Baja Blast and realized that he seems to have woken up a handful of what seems to be your old friends, the Telshines, specifically some Telshine hoplites. And last we left off, the four of you were needing to roll me a I'm blanking on the word. Initiative roll.
Initiative?
Initiative. As we
Not bad.
get to the point of figuring out what exactly you guys are gonna be doing.
Very bad.
Alright, let's see here. Oh, let me refresh the page. 'Cause
Horrible.
apparently it is not
Oh, hang on, I
showing.
get 2 rolls. Let me try the other one and see if it's any better.
On my MacBook, it registers
No, it was
the
worse.
dice rolling sound as a separate like audio file, and I can just replay it if I want with my fancy touch bar.
Hitting all the dice.
It's just the sound, but
That's
it
funny.
went away.
Oh, it,
Back when I had a really shitty laptop and I was using this when it first came out, I legit bricked my laptop and had to restart it when I tried to roll 100 d4s. Like, the overwhelming sound just fried it and destroyed it.
see, that's why I have the animations turned off.
It wasn't the animation, because I had the animation off. It was the sound.
Oh.
I just heard,
Mm.
like, 3 dice hit the board, and then just a crunch, and then it just went blue. I'm like, oh!
I don't have the sounds on at all.
Well, yeah, I remember when this first
Same.
came out, it was just horrendously optimized for browsers.
It was bad. It was not great. But now it's doing pretty good. I'm still hesitant to upgrade to the new version, but I might dabble with it in the other server just to see how it looks. However, we start off with, of course, Nikos at the top of the turn order, raising your shield, pike in hand, as you see four Telshines raising their shields and alerted to your presence.
Oh. Hello.
They seem to yell something to each other in what seems to be kind of an aquatic, like abyssal, as they raise their
Is it,
shields and in pairs of
primordial?
2. It is not. They are yelling to each other in
Oh,
abyssal
okay.
for some reason.
Do I hear Abyssal?
Yeah, do Hacho
Maybe?
and Thorin hear that?
Do you two speak abyssal?
Torrent speaks Abyssal.
Torrin, you hear?
Yes, I do.
It's him! Lock shields!
Yes, I do.
Oh wait, I lied. Sorry, I'm an idiot. It's deep speech.
Fuck you.
Oh, Hachu does, though.
Hachu
I
does.
don't hear anything.
Yeah, Hachu, you hear a splash, and you hear, for some reason, an abyssal. It's him! Lock shields!
That's him. It's him, but I'm not even in there yet.
They're probably referring to
I
me,
think-
I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around because I'm in the doorway and say, I think they're referring to Nikos.
Oh, that probably makes sense.
How'd you go translate?
Tell them
Uh,
to surrender.
I don't know
Or
what
make
an
knife.
abyssal
Tell
actually
them to
sounds
talk.
like, so...
Think Bosk, but underwater.
Burble.
Like what you would imagine a Cthulhu cultist would speak, or like a squid boy or something. Just
Gotcha.
at least what
Well,
I
I'm on.
imagine.
Step back out of the water.
Ah, okay, onto the little sand buildup.
Because I know we have the Shocky chain.
Don't let that hesitate you.
Torrent hasn't seen the water yet, but yeah, it's probably that thought's probably gonna occur to him.
Mm-hmm.
You can
What else?
probably see it between my legs.
Possibly. What else you doing, Nikos?
And yeah, well, they do seem to be pretty hostile. So I'll huck the spear at that guy there.
Ooh.
But
He'll throw
12
the
isn't
spear,
gonna hit,
he'll
I
raise his
imagine.
shield up and ping, parry it off to the side as it slaps down in the water.
And let's try it again. Nope. Okay.
You recall it, throw it again, he catches it this time in the corner of the shield, and then smacks it down into the water.
What's happening?
We got
It
more
looks like
Telestine.
Nikos has decided we are going to fight.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15.
Well, according to Hachu, they already are after me to begin with. So
Telsheen number 1, run up on ya. Shield up high, spear at the ready, hoplite on hoplite violence. That's a 9 and a 8. Damn
Nope.
it. He throws 2
I'm
spear attacks
close
at
enough,
you.
aren't I?
You block both of them.
You
Yeah,
are.
You're within 5 feet of Nikos. Send it, Cooter. How do you reply to the hoplite? A fireball. Okay, I see you're getting a lot of use out of that. That'll hit.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to be out of ammunition in the first 30 seconds of this fight.
Isn't it fun how I balanced firefights? Hey, okay. Yeah, he takes a fireball to the shoulder, knocking his shoulder pauldron off as he kind of reels back.
Don't hit my hoplite.
Let's see. We now get to 10, 15. He's
That
going
one.
to run over here, put himself against the wall, and try to send 2 spear attacks against you. That's a 12 and a 9.
nope.
Yeah, Nikos will parry both to the side behind his shield like some friggin' 300 cosplayer.
Can I take shots, or are they out of line of sight for me? Can I like?
I'm
peek
gonna
around the
dare
corner?
to say he is out of the line of sight for you. With
Yeah, I
Nikos
am
up
kind
against
of
the
in the
wall,
way.
and him there as well. I
Yeah.
don't think you'll be able to hit him. We get to Torin.
Just once. I want to be able to talk my way out of this. Excuse me, Peter.
Torn's just gonna
I mean,
kinda
you can still try it.
cram through the doorway.
You can't
As you
occupy the
pass
same
through, I'm gonna
space
say
as a
stay out
medium
of-
and large.
What?
As you pass through the, and he can,
Wait, what?
because
What's
he's
going on?
small.
Being small, you can occupy the same space as any medium or large creature.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna move up there, and Pack Tactics is going to give advantage on these rolls, and
Oh,
this guy kitty corner here is gonna get the mag dump special.
no. Okay.
As you pass through, I do want to state that I do say stay out of the water, as you kind of tuck between my legs or however you're getting through.
That thought is processing. I think Torin knows why you want him to stay out of the water. Okay. We're gonna shoot at this guy up to the left.
This guy?
Yes.
Alright.
It's a 17 hit.
17 does in fact hit. Despite 2 of them being next to each other, it beats their AC. Nice 4-round burst for 10 damage. Alrighty.
Okay.
Oh, that hit. Yep. Oh.
And 17, because minus the proficiency 3.
He
that
dead.
hit- Oh. Oh shit.
Yeah, you put you
Did I
put 2
waste
bursts.
ammo?
The third burst I'll allow you to aim it at someone else.
Right through him.
Carry
to
on
the
to the
guy
guy
in
behind
back.
him.
Yeah,
The
that
behind
guy.
him. Alright, that will hit him. Yeah, it carries through him as the extended burst just catches the guy behind him. For 15, oh my god. Yeah, you just cut through him, the shield cracks in half, and as he falls down, the last 4 rounds catch the other guy in the back who only parries away 2 of the rounds.
That is so loud in here. Can we stop now, please? Audrey, tell him to stop.
You ever shoot a gun inside a marble and ceramic bathhouse?
Can't say that I have, but I do imagine it's loud.
Bunch of moisture and water on the floor. All right, we now pan around to Ether Hoplite. He's gonna run on over here, buckle in shields with him, and attack twice at Nikos. That is a 11 and a 14.
Just stop.
Both of those will
Hey,
miss.
Torrent.
So you're electing Torn to do the riposte.
Yeah, he's got pack tactics.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
That's
Yeah.
handy.
Yep.
Which one is? Oh, the left one. All right.
Yep. He ran up and he blocked both of his attacks.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Give me the second one just in case.
Oh,
30.
oh no.
26
26
damage.
Oh,
Okay. He is still standing after that first burst. He threw 2 attacks.
oh, shut the fuck.
Please stop.
Fucking machine gun barrel smoking. He's like, no, no, no.
No, no, not like this. Yeah, he is hurting. He is not doing great. This guy, 5, 10, 15, 20, is going to vault over the toppled over pillar, run up on you, having taken a burst from you, Torn, and is going to try to attack you twice. That is a 11 and a 15.
Let me roll a d20. I'm near a wall indoors, and he has missed me.
That is true.
Nope. Okay.
Not quite.
What's his nut D20 do?
So if someone misses an attack on me, near a wall or as listed piece of furniture, I have a chance to deal damage essentially with their inertia. Or so if I can roll higher than their missing attack roll, I believe I get to roll a d8 plus a modifier and deal some amount of damage. in
D8
turn.
plus Dex, and he uses their attack against him to basically pull like a Jackie Chan, Indiana Jones. The terrain is your enemy.
Like, haha, I ducked your fist and you punched the wall. Like,
Or you tried to like punch at me, and I just parried it to the side, and you headbutt the wall with your like face.
yeah. So
Yeah, you try to parry it, but he retracts back in time and locks in place. Let's see. We now get to Peter in the doorway. Peter of the doorway, what is your wisdom? What would you like to do?
I'm gonna kind of step forward and occupy the same space as Torin.
Oh,
That's
alright.
it.
Nice father-son picture.
I can't figure out on Mac what button it is to get halfway through.
you don't have an
Off center.
key.
Yeah. I'm sure there's something else that does double duty, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of step forward, and would it be an item interaction to throw the chain, or would that be an attack?
I will say, because are you intending this to do damage?
I'm intending for it to hit the water and see what happens.
I'll say this is a item interaction, because they would have no reason to suspect a chain to be a weapon. So I'll say it's an item interaction.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna throw the chain right kind of here between these two guys.
All right. The three of you in the room, Hachu, thankfully being at the bottom of the turn order, you don't have to make a save from this. You guys aren't touching the water.
Hey,
However,
we're not touching the water.
you're not touching the water. However, I need the three of you to make me a con save.
Hey, what are you doing with my vet? Oh, hey, look at that.
Sploosh.
Oh,
Oh, Nikos is fine. Of course he's fine. Why wouldn't he be fine?
Oh, wow.
Hachu's good
No
because
fucking
he's around
way.
the corner. Peter get 20, Thorin 20. Wow, okay.
Constant
wow!
party.
All
Your
right.
guy, somehow your guys' eyes just blink at the perfect time and become welding goggles for a temporary second. Allow me to do some math here, as I need to progress this to the next stage.
Uh-oh.
And let me roll some damage. Alright.
Oh!
Damn.
Their eyes are boiling.
These guys in front of you quite literally boil and cook in place, despite being partially aquatic and made of fish and very, Curse of the Black Pearl-esque, but hoplite.
The electric eels, they are not.
Yeah, the various fish parts of them
Evidently.
are falling off as they just melt apart, like somebody grabbing an electric fence. Let me progress and double check the rest of the map. Rolled a fucking 44, so give me a moment to do some math here. Oh, they're all in water. Allow me a moment here. I gotta crunch some numbers. And
I assume there's diminishing returns, you know, resistance and all that.
And just being further away from the source too, probably.
Yeah, that's what he meant by resistance. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
actual
That's fair.
electrical
Yeah.
resistance of the water.
Yeah,
Because
you
water
said
is
resistance
actually
in
an
my
insulator.
brain.
It's the everything. Yeah, water itself is an insulator. It's everything else in the water that isn't.
Doran, do you recall
My brain
how
just
many,
was instantly D&D resistance.
how many megawatts we had figured out were in these chains?
I think you told me verbally. It was a considerable amount.
Verbal. Let me scroll up here. Oh, here it is. The 3 chain links together. Each chain link consists of 1 megawatt.
Oh, you fucking madman.
You threw 3 megawatts of electric discharge into a pool of water. Alright, well, let me add the others to the turn order now that these guys are dead.
Race for the horde.
You realize that this is enough power to run like a city of like 7,000 people in the modern age.
Yeah. And it is now
This is probably more power than
dispersed.
Aleppo generates right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Fucking
probably.
Zeus. Goddamn fucking Zeus.
Yep.
Zeus over here.
So I do have a
zapping
question.
bells. Yeah.
Are the chains like depowered now, or are they still sitting there emitting electric current?
That's the fun part. Despite the water not seeming to react, any of the organic materials and whatnot in the water are actively boiling. You are looking at a lobster feast of boiling hoplites at the moment. Like, the water around them and their body parts specifically are, in fact, boiling.
Oh, the sound.
Oh.
We need to find a way to get that chain out.
Nikos, get
Yeah.
it out. Get it out.
No, don't use the metal end. Use the wood.
Obviously. If we're technically out of turn order for the second, can I get the spear back and fish out the chain?
I'll say we'll drop turn order for now. However, whichever one of you end up progressing or going further is where the turn order will pick back up. But yeah, we'll say turn order drops for now is Hachu, you managed to poke your head through the doorway and you just see 4 boiling, like, lobster hoplites. And how you fishing this out, Nikos? What are you up to?
Well, I'm getting my spear, flipping it around, you know, the wooden part, and trying to fish up the chain out of the water.
It's only about 2 inches deep of water. However, I would like you to roll me a sleight of
And
hand.
for one of the links and lift it up.
Torin is nervously reloading.
7.
You try to fish underneath it, and it just kind of scoots a little bit on the smooth marble that's under the water. But you can't quite get the butt of the spear underneath the 3 links.
I'll just scoot it onto dry land.
You'll
Here,
just
back up a little bit.
scoot it towards you, towards the sand.
Yeah.
Alright. You start kind of scooting it back towards you, and as it starts touching the sand, you hear a little bit of a crackle, just a faint crackle, and then a little pop. And another little pop, pop. As you realize some of the
Alright.
grains of sand are starting to cook off and heat up as it's making contact in the sand.
Can I
How
rewrap it in
strong
Torin's
is this
vest?
thing?
What's up, Peter?
Can I rewrap it in Torin's vest? Because I wouldn't have thrown that. I would have thrown it out. Like,
Roll me a sleight of hand as you try to oven mitt this thing with the Torin's old vest.
nope.
Kickstart my heart. No. Yeah, you try to wrap around it, and as you do, it's only about an inch or two up on the sand, but it's kind of crackling and sparking. You're getting an idea that if it lays in this somewhat damp sand enough, you're going to start seeing glass soon, possibly. So you try to scoop it and claw at it, and you realize the edge of the vest is now getting into the water, and the left side of the vest, like the left breast of it, is now starting to soak up water.
Do you want to try Thorin?
Just give.
As you reach for it, can I take the dynamite and ammunition off you?
It's a pretty good idea.
If Torin allows it.
Oh, yeah, please take all of the metal and explosives off me. Here you go.
He's just handing over sticks of fucking dynamite.
How
You know
many
what? You know what?
bundles do you
Can
have?
we give?
So I wrote it here. Peter, you now have 12 stick. Wait, shit. So 2 bundles of 6 sticks of dynamite and 1 bundle of 9.
Phew.
So you now have 20. What is it? 21 sticks of dynamite.
And
Dealing every stick deals a d4 of damage. So in an event of a cook-off, that is 21 d4. So
Yeah. Yeah, you take the explosives and the bandolier off them. Thorin, how are you gonna try to scoop this up? Same with the vest?
first we're gonna like shove it further away from the water. Just a good old like vest guarded
Try to
shove,
vest shrug it further up onto the sand?
and
Okay.
then we're gonna try to
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand.
muddle it.
Part of the vest is wet, but if you wrap it in the dry part first, you try to wrap it, and as you get it around, the wet part that has the 3 buttons on it that are now more like slag from the previous time it was used, one of the buttons touches the other vest, and you get a loud crackle and a pop as the 3 chain links fall out the bottom of the vest, and the button kind of turns ballistic, like a bolt or a rivet flying out of a boiler, just kind of ping.
This is a hazard.
I'm gonna go back to Hachu. I'm gonna hand him all the ammunition sticks of dynamite and shit. And then I'm gonna take off my big fur hat, and I'm gonna hold it out for Torin to put the chain in there.
That works.
slowly passing along the dynamite.
Both of you give me a sleight of hand. As you hold out your, sacrificing your, not your Shanka, but, Cossack.
It's not
hat.
even, I can't
There's
remember
no
what they're
metal
called.
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there's no
just
metal in it. But I mean, like, he's sacrificing it for use of being now a cup holder. Ooh, 25, okay. Peter, sleight of hand.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you wanted it for me because I'm just holding it out.
Yeah. He's dropping 3 larger chain links into it. Hell yeah. Yeah, you kind of hold out your popcorn bucket as the 3 chain links land in there. They make a little crackle as the 3 rub against each other and let off some static as you're able to, like, kind of cinch the hat closed. You now have a
Right.
demented electric hacky sack.
After I get the chain back in my pack, I want to hand Torin my Thompson. Because I do not think I'm going to be fighting with a gun for this encounter.
Sure. Sure. I'll carry this.
If you can pick up the ammunition off Hachu, it's quite a bit.
I mean, it's got the drum.
I have 3 more full drums.
I mean, okay.
And
Sorry.
3 sticks.
Do you have 3 drums?
Yeah, I picked up the drums off the 2 guys.
Off the knoll.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Torin's gonna bum a drum from Hachu.
We
It's
need to
gonna-
get Hachu some saddlebags.
He's gonna bundle up the Peter's hat and like stuff it securely in.
Oh, I thought I was taking that in my pack.
Oh, are you taking? Oh, you are. Okay, yeah,
Alright.
that works. Don't trip.
Dispersed amongst yourself as you need to the gear as you guys look at the water, and without the 3 megawatt source of power inside it, it should be okay.
Maybe this might not be the best idea, but maybe we should give Nikos the dynamite. He can throw the furthest.
True.
You want the dynamite because
I suppose I'll carry it.
I'm gonna stand over here so I'm away from any dynamite transfer.
I mean, you're probably the only one who'd live if it blew up. So
Maybe, I don't know. I like to avoid that, finding out.
Torin just takes the dynamite back from Hachu and slaps 3 fucking giant rolls of it into your hand.
Thank you.
We have a hell of a party plan, don't we?
Yeah.
something like that.
As you guys exchange that, Torin and Peter, I would like the 2 of you to make me dex saves.
A 12.
Ooh. Dex save, Peter.
6.
Both of you are going to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as 2 large hypervelocity globules of water impact the both of you and bruise, and if they had hit harder, possibly have cracked a rib. You've seen the same sort of water bolt be released from Nikos. As you'll both notice over your back shoulder, combat will resume as our new flesh and fish buddies will join the fight. Peter, back to you.
Oh, what? Water? How does water hurt so much? Good lord.
The Super Soaker
It's
9000.
it's like getting hit with a rock.
When shot at high enough velocity, most things can hurt.
Wait, why are they still alive?
Don't know. Maybe they're a bit bulkier than the other guys.
Far enough away. I'm
That too,
gonna
probably.
cast Firebolt at the lead guy.
Alrighty. Oh, that'll hit. Damn. Alright. Yeah, that one hits him and literally takes off his arm and half of his torso as you just see. Whereas the Telshines were living fish and human and various Ganassi amalgamations, these resemble humans in stance, but there doesn't seem to be any humanoid trace left to them. They are almost entirely sea-corrupted creatures of some sort, long past their former whatever existence they may have had. As
Are they undead?
they're not, at least not that you can tell.
Well, I mean, it
As
doesn't matter if I can tell or not, because either way I would do double damage to undead.
you would, but because you didn't do double damage, they are not undead. They are unfortunately cursed.
Okay.
As a mixture of rotten fish and aquatic sea life bits just kind of flop out and kind of churn and burn from the firebolt hitting them as it lets out a bit of a yell.
I bet it doesn't even smell like good seafood either. It just smells like rotten seafood.
Probably.
Also, Torin shouts the localized translation of "fuck off" and deep speak at him.
Gives kind of a
You want me to
garble
translate
and a
that?
fishy, angry sort of.
All right. Without really, neither of us are hurt particularly bad. So without any real bonus action I can do, I'm gonna draw my sword and take a step back around the wall.
Alrighty. Saber comes out, and Hachu, we now get around to you, bud.
All right. Oh, hang on. The map's really small. I can see it. I gotta scroll a ways for it.
You're looking at a 10 by 8 screen.
Don't you shoot the fish.
Let me see if I can find the images for these guys. Well, Hachu does his turn.
It's just choosing what to use since I got several things I could use.
Well, you got to move into line of sight because you're behind a wall from everyone right now. Well,
Yeah.
hang on. He might be able to see the lead guy. Like I could say he could argue that you could see the main guy from where he's standing because he's just barely around the corner.
Yeah, he'd be able to see that guy. And in-game images are some of the examples of what you're looking at.
Yeah,
Okay,
fair.
it's-
That's Mr. Turner.
Oh, they're atrocious.
Me.
I like how that one is just fucking driftwood.
Yeah.
He's whatever the tree people are called. I can't remember.
Dryad?
Maybe.
I'm gonna try to move.
Earth Ganassi.
I'm gonna try to. I could be in the same square as
Torin, yep.
Torin, making sure.
Well, we have been kind of fudging it a little bit, mostly for playability. Technically, Hachu is classed as a large creature and should be this, but for playability, we've been giving him normal.
I feel like
person
a large
size.
creature is a little much for just being a little taller than everybody else.
Well, you're
Well,
only
you're
a little
large in
taller
a long way.
because you're constantly coiled, but when you're fully like in slither mode, you're like
Yeah, you're like
That-
what, 20 feet long?
yeah.
Yeah, I take that other than taking up 4 squares.
yeah.
Why not
Why
true?
not you? Where's the wide Putin music? Da-da-da-da-da.
we need to get you some saddlebags
What?
because you're big enough to carry like 15 sets.
No, guy makes tail bags. You can wear like 20 of them.
What was that Gulf War armored Yanti with the saw?
Yeah.
Just layer a bunch of like snake scale armor plating over him. Sounds like a rattlesnake everywhere he goes.
Alright, well, I'm gonna use. Let me make sure.
What you hitting these guys with? They're just fishy friends.
I'm gonna use
Fish are
thin and
friends,
bloom on them.
not food.
Ooh, all right.
I'll put it right there. Wait, no, that's too far.
Right there
Or did
would
I
hit
have
all
it?
3 of them.
Yeah. I was gonna hit it right there, all 3 of them, so.
Alright, what do they gotta roll?
Me. I'll
I
cast it.
imagine
I'll
you're
upcast
using-
it to level 3.
Ooh, okay. I imagine you're using touchpad, so.
No, I got a mouse,
Oh, nice.
I thought about that part.
Bloom.
I have.
but I don't have a.
touchpad.
But
My
I don't have a second
condolences.
monitor, so it does take me a little bit longer to do it.
Gotcha. That is a fail, and a fail. Wow, Dice, you let me down.
Let's go.
So they'll all be taking full damage.
Whoa, a whole 8, all of them.
Ooh, 8 damage. Well, the good news is Mr. Bloaty up in the front, anglerfish, completely starts to disintegrate and rot and fall apart into about 20 different fish amalgamations that are just kind of slosh onto the floor. The other guys partially fall apart and start to lose some of their fishy bits.
Is this under a monastery?
Makes you
Basilica,
think.
not the monastery.
Question.
Should be holy ground, shouldn't it? What's the question?
Oh, he said that's a good question.
Oh.
Yeah.
What else you got, Hatch?
I don't know. Can I see the one that's right there?
Now that he's down, yeah, you can see the second one.
I'ma shoot him.
Browning high power comes out, offhand, bang.
I cast 9mm.
Yeah.
I cast gun,
Yes!
prepare to meet God. Yeah, it hits. 2 damage.
Something,
Woo!
and the cult made them equal.
3 damage. Yeah, you put a round into his kind of chitinous shell covered shoulder and it cracks it. And you just hear a bunch of fleshing and ripping underneath it. What else would you like to do? I think you still got a little bit of movement.
It's I don't know if I touch the wall. Did we fix that?
The
Yeah.
water is no longer electric.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
no longer
The water is
electrified.
safe.
All right, so I'll just move up to right there. Yeah.
Alright, put yourself kind of against the wall and cover. As you get to the top of the turn order, Nikos.
Me.
Gotta clear the way for the actual DPS.
Hey, Hachu can
Eh,
put
what?
out some area damage.
As in,
Well,
like,
move in.
world-ending magic.
Nothing
I still
compared-
haven't summoned the demon, so
And you better not.
And
Nico's
we'll
just
stab
running
at
and
the lobster man.
Splashing through the water. Ooh. Yeah, he has no weapon in hand. That meets his AC, so it'll do half damage.
Let's go.
His 9 health is nothing for the Athenian strong arms as you crack right through the shell in his sternum and he just falls apart to the ground.
Let's
Yep,
go.
I'm falling. And I can't get up.
Let's see how Coral Man does.
Yeah, let's see.
You're within 10 feet of him, so yeah, that'll hit. Ooh. Yeah, you rip through his side as it crunches a bunch of coral that falls to the ground and he lets out this gargled yell in anger.
Then offhand.
Oh, that hits.
Yeah, I think so.
As he crumbles into 2 pieces and hits the ground and the upper half just kind of deflates on itself and starts falling apart into bits and pieces of amalgamized and crudely run together bits and pieces of coral monster.
It's atrocious.
Combat will drop for now until you guys will come across the others. However, as you guys are able to take a breath and you realize, oh, it's shockingly quiet yet again.
I hate it in here. Someone perhaps help me parse my below what is apparently a holy place for a bunch of Nikos' estranged cousins and half-dead fish people.
Oh, those fish people are probably also my cousins too.
Oh, yeah, strange family.
I'll tell you what, while they're
Yeah.
burning, they don't smell good
That's the
still
Olympians,
for being.
all right.
I mean, for being fish people, they don't smell good for being cooked.
No,
It
not
could
the
have been too long since this place was a church. Or it could be that the blessing only went so far into the ground.
And as for what they're doing here, I imagine that Typhon might have sent them to look for the Colossus themselves.
And actually, they probably don't smell good because they're trash fish.
I mean, yeah.
Bottom feeders.
So, which way would you guys like to investigate? There seems to be a small doorway, a large doorway up top, and what seems to be a small, kind of dilapidated
Cavern.
tunnel to the south.
Torin is drawn to the small doorway.
Alright. This door was made for me.
A crack?
Why is this
He's gonna
hole in the
close
wall
up and
shaped
peer
like a
through.
kobold? Alright. As you guys
This is
go,
my hole.
this is my hole. It was made for me. As you peek inside, is just a small, ruined kind of brick room that doesn't really seem to have anything other than what looks like two kind of partially broken wooden chairs that got barnacles on them that you can imagine two of the Telsheen hoplites were probably sitting on and talking about something.
There's chairs. It's a boring
Just
room.
chairs.
Just chairs. I mean,
DM, is it just chairs?
Don't you fucking do this to me. Yes, it's
What?
two four-legged wooden chairs. They got barnacles growing on the side, a little bit of
I roll
seaweed wrapped
investigation.
around it.
I
Alright.
also roll investigation.
Roll investigation. You guys are gonna fucking do the meme. Okay.
Look, man,
Where's your
how
investigation,
long did you
Peter?
spend? How long did you spend on that shuttle? It was like a half hour.
Yeah. It was funny though. So these wooden chairs actually are made of wood that is not native to the Middle East. You get the notion that this is made of Greek or possibly a Italian wood of some sort. I don't know Greek or Italian trees and carpentry enough, but I can say with your historical minds, you're able to look at it and tell these are Greek made and very, very old, if not for the unfortunate fact that they're partially sunken into the graveled and broken up, like, marble floor. The legs have a lot of splinters and are starting to break at the middle, where various mollusks and different growths are kind of emerging off of it. If you didn't know better, it looks like they've been sat in a lot. Hence why they have an abundance of sea growth on them.
what sort of invaders bring their own chairs?
Most.
Chairs?
Give me insight.
You'll never know
Torn.
what the
14.
How can they invade something that was already theirs for a long time? They didn't carry chairs from Greece.
Dumb question, never
this back here. Is that more wall or is that like a little
It is
passageway?
a small glitch that I could not fill properly, and I forgot to, but it is supposed to be a corner.
Okay.
Yeah. So it comes to a nice little corner there where the wall's kind of dilapidated and closing in.
Alright, out of this sad chair room.
Line.
North or south?
And both eventually.
There we go.
Nice. So which one would you guys like to walk towards next?
Grab a picture of Siren and just stick it there.
Regarding this entryway to the north, maybe
We're closer to it. Might as well go to this one first.
Take a peek, see.
You guys kind of step through the double doorway that you get the notion used to have a
Hacho, come on.
door in it.
Okay, fine. I guess I'll come along. Wait. Why did it close out? I didn't print. Oh, come on. Hang on.
Real.
I guess I exited out accidentally. Hang on. I just don't know what I've pressed, but
oh,
there we go.
smells worse in here.
Move yourself to where you would be as you catch up to Hachu. As combat will resume with your unorthodox shaking up of the situation, as you guys step through, you can see a bunch of marble and very intricate, nice pillars and columns that have long fallen over and dilapidated. Sea growth is very abundant and not in a natural way, but a very corruptive, kind of destructive way that seems to be breaking down the area little by little. However, you do see a large number of what seems to be more of those fish abominations that have been boiling for a few moments and have disintegrated. You also see a handful of them that are currently standing on pillars, cursing and yelling to each other, trying to figure out what the hell just happened and if the water is safe to stand in. As the four of them look over at you, one of them points out and yells as they seem to be readying small globules of water in their palms. As combat will resume.
Do we all, or do any of them understand any of us understand what they were yelling about? Is it in like abyssal or deep speech or something?
It is in abyssal, however, even if you don't understand abyssal, you know what standing away from something and yelling at each other, well, is it safe? I don't know if it's safe. Well, it might be safe. Fuck you. Check if it's safe. No, fuck you. You check. I'm not gonna check. I'll end up like them. Yeah, well, he sucked. Yeah, he did suck, but I'm not gonna be him.
Hey, no,
Yeah,
I'm not putting my foot in the water.
I mean, Hachu can understand what they're saying, so.
Hachu can understand it, and they're saying pretty much exactly that. They're cursing and yelling at each other. They're wondering why half of their party just began boiling and cooking in the water and are now dead. And they're worried about getting into the water themselves. As they see the four of you approach, they kind of realize maybe the water is accessible as they're readying up a little water blast in their hand. And yeah, we'll start with Nikos at top of the turn order.
All right. Well, they're out of spear range.
That's a first.
You want to borrow my rifle?
No, I can do this.
Nikos doesn't do firearms. Oh, alright, which one are you shooting at?
That guy right there, the one like right in front.
Alright.
Like,
Yeah,
just in a line.
that'll definitely hit.
Woo! 2 cold
Ooh.
damage. Let's go.
Bam, you catch him and it hits him and he
And
kind of staggers a
second
little
beam.
bit. That one will hit as well.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
The first one hits him as his right arm kind of jolts back, and as he straightens back up, the next one hits him center of the chest and does that kind of cowboy like kickback as he lands in the water and just rips in two. What else you got, Nikos?
I'll move like to there.
Alrighty. This guy, looking at the water, seeing that, will jump down, land in the water with a splash, and will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, comes running up both hands and throws both hands outwards as, let's see if we can hit Hachu and see if we can hit Nikos. He does 1 point of damage to himself as one sails over your shoulder, Hachu, and the other one he kind of trips in the water and blasts himself in the foot, and he just kind of eviscerates it with one of his own water blasts.
Hacho, tell them to surrender.
I yell out, surrender in Abyssal.
530. You're gonna get
Worth
a
a shot.
reply from this guy with sort of an old cutlass in his hand as he comes running forward. He's gonna spend his action to dash as he comes running forward. One sword high above his head, his other hand with a water blast, and he yells something to the extent you can't quite understand it because of a very strange kind of Greco dialect mixed with the Abyssal. But Hachu, you get the notion that he's saying something like, "She won't let me," as he's charging towards you. That'll be his turn. Torin, you are up.
Okay, so
Oh.
Torin
Well.
likes high ground. He's gonna run forward and jump up, post up on top of that pillar.
All right. You got about 4 feet higher elevation. You're now normal human height.
No, it's like that puts him at like 8 foot. He's looking down, kinda.
You're
Ish.
4'6". That makes that makes you a little higher than humans.
And he's gonna shoot at this guy right in front of him. 2 bursts from Peters Thompson,
All right, the guy charging with the sword, or the guy that blasted himself in the foot.
the guy that blasted himself in the foot.
Gotcha. Send it.
12 and a 25.
First will meet. Second will hit.
Jesus.
Well, the 16 was more than necessary with the 9 health he had left, as all 4 of them had already lost half their health to the lightning damage.
Oh.
But yeah, the Thompson burst, the what is that, 6 round per burst? So the 12 rounds of 45 ACP make pretty quick work of this guy and just chip him apart as he crumbles back into the water.
And then he's gonna swing on the left one while going,
Hey, Bear, this thing's kind of fun.
Tell me about it.
Torn with the Chicago typewriter
Oh.
art.
so
That hits.
10. That's
Oh wait,
the
10,
offhand.
yeah. That will not hit, as those 6 rounds will miss past him and splash in the water.
You think your sights are off?
Hey, you use the sights with that?
No?
I just realized Torn with the typewriter art is literally the hand-me-down from Peter.
So that's 18 rounds, okay.
Alright, 18 from the 50-round drum. He is dead. He's still alive, Mr. Squishy. 10, 15, 20, 25. He's going to run up and step up onto this pillar with one leg. He's going to thrust both hands out towards you, Torin, as 2 water blasts will go towards you. That is a 13 and a 14.
They both miss in comedic fashion. I like to imagine he ducks in like a C and then like spins or some shit. Like,
I don't like water.
Torin makes a nice letter Q shape as one goes in front of him and the other one goes above his tail, just kind of and hits the wall.
Oh, you're next. You're next.
Peter, you are up.
I'm gonna kind of get partway up on these collapsed bricks, so can I get like quarter cover or half cover or something out of that?
You'll be able to get quarter cover if you take a knee behind it.
All right, I'll do that. And then I'm gonna throw a firebolt at this lad right here.
Yeah, Peter using magic. Let's go. Oh, that'll
Oh.
hit.
Spectacular.
Charging forward with full gusto, not so much dodging, but avoiding the burst from Torn as he's running forward very zealously with his saber in hand.
Yeah.
He just takes
Tor-
a firebolt dead center of the chest, and he just kind of Gallagher with a mallet to a grape explodes in 8 directions into fishy bits and just kind of...
Watch the
I like to-
door.
I like to think Torin was chasing him with the Thompson, so like the last bullet connects right as the firebolt does.
What started as a charge turns into a like feet skipping and before getting hit in the chest and just pop.
Yeah, damn,
Exactly.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
That's horrible. What else you got, Peter?
That's it for me.
All right, Hachu, you are up. There's a guy posting one leg up, threw some water bolts at Torn. The other guy just popped like a grape. What would you like to do?
Alrighty.
The necromancer who bleps.
Blip.
I like to think Hachu does a lot of snake bleps, just tongue flitting all the time.
Oh, of course.
I like to think that when he's in the company of like important people, he's trying not to do it, and you can see it on his face that he's really physically struggling.
He just
He's just like,
starts like twitching. Just
Keeps looking cross-eyed down at his nose for some reason.
I can't tell how they're feeling by looking at them. I need to taste the air and their feelings. I can't. I hate it. Fun fact, most all their senses are based off doing that tongue flitter, so if he forced himself not to do it, he's like half blind.
Yeah, it's not only in like formal settings,
In formal settings, yeah.
so it's not, it's not crippling.
It's very endearing.
Or
Very wholesome.
I'll just
as he's
hit it
talking,
with,
he's just opening his mouth extra big in order to be able to taste the air.
I'll just hit him with Toll of the Dead.
Ooh, alright, wisdom save.
Um,
That's a nat 1. You may roll your
Is that
2d12.
double the
my
damage
friend.
on Toll of the Dead?
Not to my knowledge, but you know what? I've never really used that rule of rolling a nat 1, making it like on a save or anything. Only because if a player ever rolled nat 1 on that, it would be devastating. So I think we'll
Yeah,
refrain
fair.
from
I was just-
doubling it. But, oh yeah, that 12
It doesn't
is...
really matter on these guys.
Yeah,
so-
the 12 is more than the remaining 10 health that he has. As you watch fish rapidly degrade and rot by like 100 years as he just mushes into the water and
Oh, God,
kind of
the
turns
smell.
into a shark sludge.
Did you have to use that one? Oh. Ugh.
It's not a good
Sorry.
smell. It already smells
Now
like
you're
fish, but
reacting.
now it's just rotted fish.
Now you're reacting not what he used Wither on the entire group of them in the other room.
It's hitting me stronger this time. Oh. Oh.
As combat drops and you guys step forward, you realize, yeah, tossing those chain links in the water at the time that you did, a whole kind of reactionary war party of whatever these fishy amalgamation former Ganassi were or are, got absolutely cooked, and the handful that weren't cooked and were able to dive out of the way in time, you guys pretty quickly put down.
That was brilliant, Peter.
Big gate.
I
Glad we didn't have to
I
shoot all
didn't
of
think
them.
it would go that far.
Me
I'm gonna
neither.
peek around the corner and see what's beyond.
As you peek through, you see what looks like should be a raised pillar, almost like a bowl that should be flat, but there's a slowly cone-shaped kind of depth to it, and the water gets very, very dark as it gets deeper in. However, it doesn't seem to be anything else around. Just about an inch or two of water on all sides, and a bunch of dilapidated pillars. As you guys are walking, you do manage to see
Oh, that's bad vibes.
a long, kind of barnacled and watered and rusted over massive gate that seems like it was breached by something at one point.
Well, that looks delightful.
That's bad news. The
Yeah.
gate, it appears to have fallen in this way, implying that something something broke out of this room.
Nikos, would you remind me of the story of Typhon?
Well, he was a titan so terrible and powerful that even the Olympians fled from him. When they eventually defeated him, they imprisoned him under Mount Etna, sometimes also in Tartarus, sometimes under Mount Etna, also in Tartarus.
I'm gonna make an exaggerated gesture at the giant hole.
Yeah. I know, I also had the same thought.
Would this be the place?
Where is Mount Etna?
Not near here. Italy. But of course, they could also just have been wrong. You know how stories can drift and change over the years?
Often.
Well, perhaps there is another Mount Etna. I am very tempted to try and throw the chain in the big hole. But if that is Typhon, I feel like that would only make him mad.
I also want to keep it.
We'll have to go get some kind of rubber bag for it made.
Yeah, I've got ideas.
Oh.
I'm not gonna share them yet.
Well, someone just spoke in my head.
Oh,
I
do you know who?
A female voice calling me great
is it
grandson.
your
That Typhon's not here.
Should we go?
And that we need to speak.
Do you want to speak with her after what you did to Rhodes?
Well, she's technically not my great grandmother. She's several greats.
Still, I mean, would you really say however many it is for 2,000 years?
True.
How deep do you think the hole is?
Did the voice
So deep
sound
for us to swim.
malicious?
It sounded actually very endearing and kind of
mm.
welcoming.
Well,
Did the
whoever this
voice
is
ask
didn't
you to go down
sound
the hole?
evil. So, I don't know if it is Roxana. Where exactly are you?
In the hole. I know how this goes.
Where does this stop? Wait for Nikos to have his conversation and then make a judgment call from there.
I'd like to magically examine Nikos.
Roll me Arcana.
See. Hachu, would you care to join me?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, it's in the hole.
Of course, it's in the hole.
Ooh, 18. Let's see what Hachu rolls for Arcana.
Dang it, hang on.
That was Hachu's real life dad, and if you're from east of the Mississippi and south of the Mason-Dixon line, you've probably met him at some point because he knows everybody apparently.
Hell yeah. Being a Kentuckian, I probably have not met him.
No, his dad is a very gregarious, I think is the word for it, person.
Understandable.
Outgoing, very outgoing.
We'll say Hachu was able to help out in addressing that and kind of looking at it. As you
My bad,
guys,
I gotta ask some questions. I'll be back over there in a second.
yeah, go for it. As you guys kind of look over Nikos, he has no real seeable difference to him. However, one thing you do notice, although it's not the most apparent, there's no natural lighting down here. All the lighting seems to be that very faint hue that seems to originate from the water. Almost like the water is just barely luminescent to give a ambient lighting to the area. However, you notice it does give enough of a reflection on whatever is in the water or next to it. You can see on the edge of your guys' boots or on the scales on Hachu or on Torin's gaiters that, like, it's enough of a glow that is visible, but it doesn't seem to be reflecting off Nikos at all.
We can't stop you if you want to, but I don't think it is a good idea to go down the hall because the rest of us we cannot follow.
Plus, I don't exactly trust random voices in my head.
We do have a bad track record with that.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't
especially when you're,
sound actively malicious, but still.
I don't know, a little voice in your head may be a demon sometimes, so just try not to.
This is your call.
All of you hear a little bit of a cracking sound as some of the marble work gives a very slight counterclockwise rotation about 6 inches around this hole before stopping, and all the water that seems to go down into this kind of black depth cone of water starts spiraling down more and more as it pulls in some
I'm
more
gonna
water
pull
with
Torin
it.
up onto the
On top!
pull Torin up onto the pillar and gesture to Hachu to do the same.
As you guys scramble to do
Oh, shit.
that, you realize you don't really need to, as the deepest point of water around you is only 2 or 3 inches, and none of it is affected, as it seems like only the water that was within that bowl.
No.
That's not what this is in relation to.
Gotcha. As it rotates and the water sinks in, and eventually you hear a long kind of chasmous flowing of water that recedes and completely dissipates, and you can feel and smell a very, very damp kind of mildewy air that is kind of a metallic-y tinge to it start emanating from the now open chute that is dropped down.
Alright, it goes deeper.
It's up here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to find a rock, just like a pebble or something.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of chunks of like marble and rock and stuff laying around. You
Break
find like a little
down.
river
I'm gonna-
rock.
I'm gonna cast light. I'm gonna toss it in, and I'm gonna count the seconds until I hear it hit the ground.
Cast light on it, you toss it. You get 2 seconds before you hear a as it seems to hit brickwork and water.
That's what? 30 feet.
It doesn't sound all too deep.
I'm gonna look over the edge and see what I can see, because I did cast light on it before tossing it down there.
As you peek down, you see where the brick is illuminating in the, once again, about 3 to 4 inches of water that is going down about another half inch as you get the notion all the water that flowed there is now dispersing outwards. You see a bunch more of more intact brickwork. You see what looks like kind of a round cylindrical room beneath this that seems to have the edge of what looks like two staircases that branch off.
There's another room with stairs.
There.
How easy would it be for us to get down this? Is there stairs spiraling down the outside, or is it
So it's a straight
just
shaft.
hole?
It's a straight shaft that goes straight down 30 feet, and then there's about 10 feet before you see the floor of the next level beneath you. And from the staircase down there, it seems like there's a staircase that goes down further.
Where do you think that other tunnel to the south went?
Perhaps that has a way down, other than the giant pit.
Perhaps we're gonna go down and down till we see a barracuda down there too.
I just don't wanna- Peter, stop making weird noises. It's making me uncomfortable.
If we want, I think we have enough rope to tie up to the outside, or at the very worst, the remains of the gate, and then go down.
What if I just? Well, you did that. What if I just had a peek at the other the other way? Just because it's just another hole straight into the earth.
What do the rest of you say? I'm
Hashu's munching
Part
a
of me just-
carrot.
kind of wants to get this over with.
I don't even know what this is.
To expedite
Neither
this,
do I.
we'll say Torn is able to dash away for a moment and run down to the south. If you want to look south real quick. Yeah, bless me.
Bless you.
As you look over Torn, you'll be able to step over the 3 bodies that you killed, where you realize, as you explore further, you find another water-soaked room with 2 more boiled fish people. A hallway that leads to 2 very dilapidated rooms that have long caved in. Another hallway where a guy unfortunately died slumped over against the wall. Another room. A hallway. And then you arrive at another area, and from what you can gather, judging by the tipped over chairs and the weird mollusks on the walls, the 3 that came after you were likely on the one bit of dry land there. You also see what looks like a very dilapidated, busted over, would have been second elevator that was never completed, as the shaft above it seems to be blocked.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Yeah, that'll probably take him like 5-6 minutes or so. He'll come back.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's just a dead end. They're unfinished construction.
Well, I suppose we have no choice then.
Okay.
I'll pull out the rope, hand it to Torin, because he's better at tying knots than me.
It's gonna tie it off to the gate. That seems like a very heavy, sturdy thing.
You get the idea that this gate is heavy.
Yeah.
Like tons.
And it's got a marble column laying on top of it.
There too. Yeah, you'll be able to tie it around. Give me a sleight of hand for knot tying.
13.
Torn's good enough with knots. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. It'll support a lot of weight.
Sorry, I'm a child.
No, I said it like that for a reason. Yeah. you're able
Anyways,
to,
as you were saying.
drop and descend the rope down the pit as it hangs down, and you realize the 50 feet of rope, if I'm doing my measurement correctly, it will have about 5 feet that will impact the water and the next level down below.
If there's any left, I think we have some extra rope that we can tie around it to double the rope length.
You shouldn't need to. It seems like the 50 feet are able to just barely reach you to it.
Okay.
Hit anxiety.
He's gonna go first. He's tired of whatever.
Give me
He's just-
acrobatics. How are you descending down the rope?
Grab and slide. Don't worry about rope burn. We got scales.
Yeah, you got resilient, scaled hands and legs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he just fucking 9-line military rope rappels down, just like crosses his ankles over one hand and arm above the other, and just kind of. Torn, you find yourself dropping down and landing in a splash of water. And give me a moment here, as I need to do some things.
I'm gonna follow him down. Much more cautiously, though.
Allow me
Same.
to hide the water. I want you two to roll me acrobatics as well, as I will move you to the next stage. Nikos does decent with it, barely.
Ah.
Oh
fuck.
no!
Peter's gonna be hitting with a good. So, and
Nikos,
Hachu,
Nikos, too fast, too fast.
Hachu, how do you descend down? I feel like this might add to Peter's roll. Let's see.
What a time to crit fail. Oh man.
Hang on. I
Alright.
forgot where it was. I'm gonna cast Featherfall on myself just in case I fall.
So, as the three of you are rappelling down, Torrin's claws hit the bottom first as he decides to secure the rope at the base so it's not wobbling as much, since everyone else has a lot more weight than him. As you look up, you see Nikos kind of wobbling a bit. His shield's kind of throwing him off a bit as his right leg kind of kicks outwards and he lands on his left heel and has to stagger back, but is okay. Very shortly after, Hachu just kind of and just sets down very gently beside you as Peter lands in the middle of the three of you with a very wet and heavy smack onto the tile in his back. You will take 6 fall damage.
Oh, I won't, because I'm burning some of my lay on hands, which my lay on hands won't reset back to 40 at the end of any session anymore.
Huh.
For whatever reason. I don't know why. It keeps resetting to 6 when it's supposed to be 40, but I'm going to get
You just
myself
see
back up
him.
to 45.
Just see him land here, like, ooh.
Are you alright?
Did you land on a
I'm
table
fine.
of yours?
Hey, damn.
While I'm doing the healing on myself, does anybody else need any?
I could use a
I'm fine.
pinch.
How much do you need?
I tried to think of a funny way to say it in character. I need 7.
You have a
7 euro.
scratch.
Hey, you apply lay on hands on Torrin and yourself as you patch yourself up. Magically, the wounds kind of heal over and you
Unbend
feel
my back.
invigorated. You put one of your spinal discs back into place.
He stands up and does like the dad cracking his back thing with the lay on hands. It's
Yeah, your just hands are both glowing.
Just crunch. As you guys look around, you realize the water is fluorescent still. The room has a nice glow to it. There's 2 staircases that seem somewhat shorter and descend down into another marble room that doesn't seem to have quite as much light to it. However, around you, what looks like a set of long empty and flooded over, basically stone caskets. And within them
Sarcophagus.
sarcophagus. Within them,
Sarcophagi.
not having sarcophaguses. Inside them is a somewhat You know that drinking water that's like thick water that's supposed to be good to drink because it's like thicker, denser water, that weird gimmick? It seems
No.
like it's filled with a denser, thicker water and a mixture of starfish and clams and mollusks
Thorin!
and stuff like that crawling around inside it.
Thorin, Hachu, they are preparing to build nuclear weapons.
What's
I hate you.
nuclear?
Get it? Heavy water?
Uh huh. Also, like thick
I'd like to
water,
take a look into the...
I think thick water is
I'm more-
like for medical stuff. If you like,
Can't swallow normal water.
yeah, or something like that.
I'm thinking about this. I think perhaps at one point in time there may have been bodies in these.
That is likely. Can we find any indicators as to whose?
Give me a investigation as you guys, those of you who choose to, as you peek inside the sarcophagi.
Nat 20!
Ooh. Peter, you
Nice.
can't really tell, but Nikos, you're familiar enough with the practices of some of the Telshines and the Sea Folk. Torn, you are able to get the idea almost instantly. These never originally had bodies in them. It seems these were placed in a bit after the fact, probably procured from somewhere else after this place was constructed. And the denser water seems to be from another water source somewhere other than the water that's currently trickling and running around you. And the sea life in it has almost kind of a more aquatic property to it, is the best way I can kind of describe it. It seems a bit more scummy, a bit more kind of corruptive, and you can, at least the two of you can tell pretty instantly, you lay a body in here to sea life corrupt it into something new.
I'm not sure if
Is there magic involved with this water?
If you roll me Arcana,
Is there magic involved with this water?
the water not so much. However, it seems if a charge of some sort perhaps gets applied to the magic and the sea life inside it, it might kind of work similar to the hyper speed of like Hachu's necromancy. It seems like the sea life is propelled in some way if something is inside and something were to activate it.
this is
So, Torin is going to bring out his canteen. Quickly chug the contents of it because you have to stay hydrated, and is gonna refill it with this water.
Alright. Add deep sea water canteen to your inventory. As you stick it in there and you fill it in with some of the water, you don't really have to roll a perception check to this. This is your typical like gray military GI canteen, right? With like the metal cap and the little chain on it. When you raise it up, usually 1 quart is only supposed to be so heavy. It is literally 3 times heavier than it should be when normally filled.
it's
Heavy water.
Heavy. Good lord, at least I won't confuse it for regular water. That would be unfortunate, wouldn't it?
How does it? Is it drinkable?
Yeah, I don't wanna test that.
So how can they make water heavier? Is it like compacted
Magic?
or like is it like is it magical water or like
I don't know. That's why I'm taking some.
somebody cast heavy on it or something? I don't know.
Roll
I've never seen
me,
anything like this.
roll me history, Nikos.
Got it.
He goes, something about this water just feels homely. Feels a lot more familiar than any of the other water you've ever been in.
Interesting. There's something familiar about this water.
It's familiar about water. Alright, touch it or something.
Maybe that's not as good idea.
Want to, if I'm honest.
It's just water. I stuck a canteen in it and I got some in my hand and
He's wiping it off.
It's like normal water for the most part, just kind of soaks and drips off and drops onto the floor. Actually, do give me a perception check, Torn, as you do that. Now that I think about it.
14.
Your eyes kind of follow one of the drops as it runs off your claw and hits the water, and you can specifically see that drop of water, almost like it's a spot of oil, sink down inside the regular water into the bottom floor.
this water, it sinks in water.
Interesting.
Really is some kind of heavy water.
It is. Feel the canteen.
He's just gonna like toss it to you, Peter.
I'm gonna catch the canteen and do the comedic thing where, like, I grab it and I hold it for just a second longer than I should with how heavy it is, and then it just drops to the ground with my hand.
I would like the three of you, excluding Nikos, to make me a dexterity save at disadvantage.
Oh,
Oh,
an 8. Damn.
15.
And Hachu, give me a disadvantage dex save.
For some reason, when I thought you said when you said Nikos, I thought you said me. I don't really know why. I
I am Nikos now.
was like, yeah, oh yeah, so I'm not involved in the role. He said the other 3. Fucking said Nikos. Jesus. There we go. So. Oh, bruh.
Give me a moment here.
Oh no. I don't think I want to give him a moment.
Oh dear. That's a net icon.
oh.
The air seems to kind of freeze mid-motion
Damn,
through
a
this.
15 isn't enough?
Far from. The air seems to kind of freeze. Everything goes deathly still except for you, Nikos. It seems like their breathing pauses, their motions pause as the three are kind of laughing about the canteen. And you start to see what looks like a small pool of water starts to form. And the water slowly slinks up in what looks like 3 kind of like water tendrils that wrap around the 3 of them, covering over their mouths, holding their arms to their sides, and fully restricting them. Until this trap spell goes down, the 3 of you will be unable to speak, unable to cast, unable to move, or react. As
Rolls of some sort against it.
there is no saves that could be made here.
Wow.
Nikos, you hear a couple kind of heavy-footed steps come up the staircase as you see a somewhat scarred, more matured hoplite woman step forward. Got a heavy bronze breastplate, a large shield in one arm, spear in the other. Very tired, kind of yellowed eyes. One of them looks kind of grayed. Kind of steps forward and just looks to you. Why'd you come here?
Well, you have my attention.
Nikos, was it? I'm hoping.
Yes.
You'll understand then, I hope. As she kind of raises her shield up into a defensive stance, brings her spear to bear, and looks to you with a pretty heavy determination. The three of you that are restrained, roll me a d4.
Are high numbers good or bad? I don't know.
I get the feeling we are being drained of HP.
Yeah, I get that feeling too.
And Hachu, give me that d4.
If I would actually select the thing to type, that'd probably be helpful. I fucking typed it out and there was fucking nothing there. 2, 3, 4, great.
Torn, you will take 4 acid damage. Peter 3, Hachu 2, as this heavy water slowly starts to degrade and pull at the three of them pretty visibly and pretty obvious. As she kind of nods back to you, Nikos. I couldn't have them
Taking
get
them
in the way.
hostage really necessary?
I couldn't have them get in the way.
They can
And
just stand off to the side.
I can't chance that. I need you to kill
They
me.
won't interfere.
No. I need you to kill me. As she starts to step forward
Why?
again, and I need you to roll me initiative.
Ooh, a whole 7!
Well, I know what the next feat I'm going to take is.
As you look to her, her eyes almost kind of start to look a little bit pleading for a moment, as she blinks once really tight and furrows her brows and makes herself angry yet again, as at the end of every turn, or at the end of every round, each of the other three will take a d4 additional damage. It would seem the spell is bound to her. Until she dies, they won't stop dissolving. As she closes that distance, runs forward, and is going to make a shield bash against you. I need you to make me a dex save, Nikos.
Quick question, DM. Are we aware at all of what is happening, or are we quite...
Your eyes are able to look around, you're able to see what's going on, but you are unable to move, you are unable to react. You're just
We are currently sentient, though.
sentient and bearing witness, but also realizing, ow. Yeah,
Terrified conversations through eye contact between Torin and Peter.
Yeah. You raise your shield up as she rushes forward and the shield clashes against you. You're going to take half damage from this. Let me make sure I get this correct. 9, 10, 12, 13. You'll take 7 damage as the shield hits against you, but you lock your feet into place and you don't scoot back. As she follows up instantly with another thrust of her spear over the top. Let's see. That is a 18.
Nope.
Alright, she thrusts at you and you raise your spear up and or your shield up and deflect it off to the side as it gets to your turn, Nikos.
Why? Why do you want me to kill you?
I've been here too long. Now kill me! As she readies and tries to thrust at you
We
again.
have a
and
rope.
misses.
We can just leave. We have a rope. We can get you out of here. There's no need for this.
She's currently furrowed and seems to be set in her ways at the moment.
Let them go. They won't interfere. You have my word.
Roll me persuasion.
Got it.
Just a medical cover holding out for a hero.
Maybe. As you say that, you see her shake her head one time as she looks over to him, kind of scoffs under her breath and looks back to you. It's not my spell. Kill me and they go
Oh.
free.
Roxana, I assume then?
Gives a very small, angry nod at that.
Alright, well. Looks like I have no choice then.
That is a miss. As she
If you
brings the
wish it-
shield up and parries it to the side. Deflects it once again to the other.
And offhand.
Low guard blocks it down towards the ground. All three of you roll me a d4 and subtract it from your health. Torn loses 1 more HP. Peter and Hachu, roll me a d4. Ooh, Peter takes 4.
Oh, damn.
Hachu, give me a d4.
Praying for low numbers. Hey,
Yeah.
you're normally good at these, Peter.
Hey,
Only when it doesn't matter. Or only when it hurts me. Whatever hurts me is what I get.
Hachu and Torn lose 1. Peter, you dissolve for another 4 as you realize the heavy water is starting to corrupt and kind of take them more. As it rounds back to her turn,
If Roxana's doing this, is she nearby or can she view this place somehow?
she shakes her head for a moment. I am Roxana. As she will
What?
attack you twice again with 2 more spear thrusts. That is a dirty 20 and a 24.
Shield.
You throw your shield up as it smacks against it and parries to the side, and the second one you block with your normal shield. As she kind of reels back, brings her shield forward, lunges it forward, and goes for another shield bash. That is 21. That will also miss as your shield is up. And she just kind of grunts. You see her face starting to get more stern and angry. I am Roxana, and if you don't kill me, they die. Now, kill me! As it gets to your turn.
You're Roxana, then why aren't you why are you using them? You've been intent to kill me. Why do you want me to kill you?
You don't understand. Now kill me.
Help me understand.
She is going to take the opportunity to attack if you do not.
Yeah.
You're not gonna attack?
Nope.
Alright. She will make another attack against you. That's a 14. With your shield still up, it'll deflect off. As she seems to get angrier and readies her shield as it rounds about to the next turn. All three of you roll me another d4. That's 2 for Torn.
Hell. Where my damn cursor?
You can just open the dice hotbar on the left side, and it's a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
easier.
You
that's
know,
to click ones.
2, 3, 4 to each of you. As she looks at you, you see her kind of swell with a bit of energy as you can see this what seems to be centuries of scars and damage to all the parts of her body that aren't clothed or cloaked or armored over. You can see traces of tons of damage and battle damage to what armor she is wearing, especially her shield. As she raises her spear up and will make 2 more attacks against you with a loud grunt. That's a 26 and a 22.
Oh, the 26 will hit no matter what. And
d8 plus 4, so that'll be 8 damage as she lands one up into your shoulder just above your armor plating and reels it back. As she kind of tenses, her arms go stiff, and she will action surge and make 2 more primary attacks against you.
All right.
That is a 18 and a 22.
Nope, because I'm using a shield for the other previous one, so the 22 won't hit either.
Alright. You throw up shield and
All right.
block both of them again. As she reels back and kind of takes a half step back, and then we'll blitz forward again and go to make another heavy shield rush bash against you. That's a nat 20. So that comes
Alrighty.
to 26. So that is 2d6
That'll
plus
hit,
4
yeah.
doubled. So 11, that'll be 22 damage as you will be
Woo!
impacted by this. And you nearly feel your arm break under the bracer of the shield as she just smacks against you like a whole freaking phalanx.
You said 22, right?
22.
Okay.
As she will reel up again and offhand make another spear thrust at you. I will -6 from this, so that's just a 19.
Nope.
This one misses entirely as you're able to sidestep and dodge it a little bit as she grunts out, "Let me die," as it gets to your turn.
Alright, I'm going to back up. So I'll take a opportunity attack.
Opportunity attack. That's a nat 1. She will swing wildly
Let's
at you
go.
and haphazardly, breaking all of her military training and likely almost thousands, bordering thousands of years of training and fighting and experience at this point. It kind of goes out the window as she thrusts forward and hits the corner of the large pillar.
So Nikos, I know what you're thinking. You have 2 6-stick bundles and 1 9-stick bundle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The respective amount of sticks is how many d4 they do.
Yeah, I'm gonna chuck the 9-stick.
Alright, it'll land next to her. Do keep in mind with the dynamite bundles, it takes 1 turn to detonate. So you'll have to keep her
Alright.
within the blast radius, which if I'm not mistaken is 20 feet. Anything else with your turn?
Okay. Yes, I am going to, for a bonus action, Second Wind.
Alright, very good. Roll that recovered health.
Yep. Alright.
You recover 11 health as you feel some of your godly Ganassi energy re-enter you and kind of mend the wound on your shoulder. As we round to her turn, I will consider that a full rotation as combat here will progress. Roll me. Torin takes 4. Peter and Hachu, both of you roll me a d4.
Come on.
How you guys
Hachu
doing?
takes 1 more acid. And Peter, roll me a d4.
I'm slowly melting here. How do you think I'm doing?
I'm doing alright.
Of course.
Peter takes
Oh.
1 more
Oh,
acid damage. Roll me the 9d4 as the dynamite will detonate.
Russian over here slowly turned to a Prussian. He's slowly going down the alphabet.
20 damage. Alright.
That
That
doesn't
will-
break your concentration, does it?
Oh.
This isn't her spell. As the dynamite detonates, it sends bits of shrapnel in all directions, bouncing and spalling off the walls. You see 3 very visible large chunks of marble and pieces of floor kind of rip into her side. It punctures through her breastplate armor. One goes into the side of her calf. One is like a large piece of granite is actively sticking out of her shoulder. One clicks against the side of her head as she simply stands there with a slight wince, looks over, shrugs her shoulder a little bit as very small amount of blood for what damage she has taken starts to show as the piece drops out of her shoulder, and she just kind of looks at it with a bit of a wince. It's now her turn. She's going to rush forward the full 20 feet, make another shield bash. I need a con save, Nikos.
On save, alright.
Ooh, let me double check the stats. Yeah, you pass. You will only take half damage.
Oh!
You pass. You will take half of 2d6 plus 4. Oh, that is 1d6. I gotta click the 2. Says 3 for 7. So you'll take 3 damage as the shield bash hits you in your broken arm and just kind of clashes you back, but you don't smash into the wall behind you as you hold fast. However, before you can really react, you see her spear rising up and over. She's going to use her action to burn a legendary action. Shield Breaker. Nikos. The tip of her
yes.
spear thrusts forward and hits the center of your magical shield. She loses 2 fingers in the process as she thrusts against this and just completely destroys 2 of her fingers with the force as the spear fractures and splinters out in sort of a white light as your shield literally cracks into 4 pieces and falls off your arm onto the floor. Subtract your shield's AC.
Alright, was doing that.
As she reaches down with her shield still readied and will spend her bonus action to pull her short Greek sword. As it now gets to your turn, Nikos.
Alright.
I said, kill me.
So if you're Roxana, who's doing this spell?
She kind of breathes for a moment and is getting ready to strike. You know who? Typhon.
Ah, lovely. Alright.
I can't wait for him
Alrighty.
anymore. Kill me.
A 1?
Ooh, that will not hit. As she will raise her shield up
2.
and block it, and she will then block the other one. I said, kill me.
Action surge.
That one will hit.
Oh, thank God.
As she goes to try to parry this one, but only seems to put half effort into it as you get past her shield, and your sword connects with her stomach. It rips through the metal, making a breach like a can opener into her midsection. She makes the smallest of winces as you pull the sword back out, and you can see what looks like living stomach and tissue, but the wound is slowly starting to already kind of scar over as you realize the shrapnel wounds that she had taken from the dynamite have already healed over into new scars that match all the others that she already has. As you inflict 0 damage once again.
Lovely! And how exactly would I do that?
She curses at you. Once again, gritting her teeth. Just listen to me. Kill me and die already.
I don't particularly want to die, thank you. Then I still have one more. No, okay.
She won't attempt to block this one, as she'll
Oh, okay.
kind of half-ass the shield block. This one you give a nice upper slice to the side of her left bicep as it rips upwards, and her shield arm goes a little slack before kind of straining and raising back up, and you see the scars start to slowly form and fill in the gap in the bicep that you made. As she readies up again, she's starting to seem frustrated. She's seeming very kind of wet-eyed. Anything else for your turn?
I do still have one offhand, so
That one will not hit, as she will actually raise her sword up and parry the spear off.
Make up your mind, woman!
As it gets to her, she's going to bring her shield up, raise the sword, and before striking, kind of looks to you as you're going to hear a message in your head. She is going to cast message.
Gonna cast massage.
No, please don't make me watch Nikos have sex while frozen in place.
I know.
this is my own
way.
ancestor,
Especially not
man.
with his
No.
own grandmother.
Yeah, no.
Hey, it's a Back to the Future. It's a the Back to the Future scenario.
Hey, the Greeks were weird like that, okay? Remember Oedipus? We all remember Oedipus?
Yeah, that was considered bad?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah, but they still did it.
Also, he didn't know, technically.
Oh, yeah, fair. We all remember Oedipus.
This is the message that comes into your head, Nikos, as she is going to make another shield bash against you. Roll me a con save.
I see. No, I don't think I will.
Also, the three of you, roll me another d4. Yeah, roll me a con save, Nikos.
I don't
There has to be
wanna.
some other way. We can work together to defeat him.
Roll me perception, Nikos.
Perception, alright.
You can see a sort of pain inside her as she seems to consider that for a moment. As she hears you say that, you can see a bit of kind of a tearing going on inside her, like something is actively hurting her as that thought is crossing her mind. And she
Also, there's
has
not a-
to shake
Ooh,
it free,
cool.
as you will take full damage from this.
He's been bested before.
That was only in the stories. As you will take 7 more damage, as she will just bash you in the center with the shield, bringing the sword to bear, and is going to swipe at you twice more for a 22 and a 14.
It meets with shield.
Ooh, you throw your shield up and both of them kind of deflect and bounce off the magical barrier as she gets frustrated and is looking to you pleadingly, tired. She needs
There's
you
truth
to
to the
kill
stories.
The truth, the history, it's wrong. Typhon killed him, he killed my husband, he plagued my son, and he's used me for so long.
And together we can avenge them.
The last 3 heroes said the same thing. He made me kill them too. He's always made his promises, he's always followed them up. Die, and I get to die. Now, kill me! And she is going to use her bonus action to send another shield bash against you. Give me a con save.
Alright.
Ooh, you will pass, so you will take half damage. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Cut in half, that is 6. You'll take 6 more damage as you will just get
Alright.
bludgeoned against. As we now get to your turn, Nikos.
Alright.
She kind of looks to you with a bit of a kind of glare as you'll feel another message enter your head as you make your turn.
Doesn't need to be this way.
She seems dead set. She wants
Yeah.
what she has promised out of this. It has been a lot of pain and built up time, and she looks like someone who's been after the lottery her whole life and is finally on like that last kind of pool to actually win it.
Sure. Let's bring out that a 12.
She brings her shield down and hides behind it as it glances off the shield and parries out to the sides and just kind of dissipates.
Wait, hold on, no, then you make a con save.
Make a con save. Oh, that's the damage.
Oh, that is the damage.
Oh,
No,
that-
wait,
Yeah, that is
'Cause it
12.
still has.
Isn't that? Yeah, they have to make a con save.
Oh, okay.
Hi, bad. Let's see. That is a dirty 20. As you
All
cast
right.
this out, and it just kind of arcs over the side. So they'll... Where they normally would take 6 damage from the ice that kind of builds up on their shoulder and at their shins, a recognizable chunk of what seems to be her calf that freezes kind of flakes off as she tenses her calf, and it quickly starts to scar over once again, just adding to the number of wounds that she has sustained over all this time, and shrugs it off.
Alright then, bonus action offhand.
She raises her shield up and will block it, as
Yeah.
it will just glance off. What else you got, Nikos?
Please. We don't need to fight. We can work together.
The 3 of you roll me your d4s.
Staying consistent with those threes.
Ooh, 3, 1, 3. As she hears you say that, she looks to you, kind of throws her head to the side, looking over at the other 3, and is going to quickly transition the spear in her hand to over her shoulder, and is just going to huck it at full speed at Peter. Peter will not be able to deflect this, as he is currently pinned. Peter, you will take...
I am wearing armor.
In a restrained state, your AC does not count unless you are in cover. As you're currently
okay.
in the open, it's the
Alright.
same as when you throw a hand grenade or an item somewhere. Thankfully, you only take 6 piercing damage as the second spear kind of just stabs into your side while you're restrained there. You feel every bit of it and kind of try to yell out, but you can't. You see the spear sticking out of Peter as she reaches back down, pulls the sword back out, looks to you, and is going to offer yet another shield bash on you. I need a con save. Oof. That'll be 2d6 plus 4.
Where are you at for health, Nikos?
That'll be 13.
Oh, you know.
You know what?
An amount. An amount.
She hits you and bashes you back as you feel your back kind of impact against the wall. She advances on you a bit closer. There is redness in her eyes. Her kind of yellowed pupils are shining a little bit more. She's gritting her teeth. She seems genuinely remorseful to do this. Her kind of wall of that she was putting up of wanting to do this is there, but she seems dead set as she's getting ready to raise the sword up on you. Don't block this one. They'll be fine. Just
How can
please.
I exactly trust you?
You can't. As we round to your turn, Nikos. Uh-oh, what happened?
Why is everyone laughing?
I just sent Nikos a DM.
Way to break the tension.
Right, well, I'm gonna keep stabbing.
Alright. She doesn't even attempt to block this one, as she just lets you stab right into their
Yeah.
left side of her breastplate, and it draws back. A little bit of blood starting to seep out. She doesn't react to it. Swing on me again. You can't kill me. No one can. Let me die.
Yeah, well, they said that about Achilles, too, and look how he turned out.
I killed him. And she is going to preemptively take her turn if you do not continue yours.
Yeah. No, I won't finish my 3.
You'll swing at her
Might
twice
as
more.
well.
She'll block the first one with sort of a half parry to the side with her sword, but she allows the second one to get through as you catch her in the side of the thigh, and she kind of recoils a bit as you pull back and you realize you went through hip bone, and she kind of limps for a half moment as you hear a little bit of a crack and a small wince as she readies up into a battle pose once again, just furiously looking towards you. Anything else, Nikos?
Nope, I've done my 2 attacks, my bonus.
I need a D4 from the 3 of you.
Nice.
Ooh, 311. As it gets to her, she will look at you, raise the sword up. Don't block this. And we'll bring the sword down on you twice and attack at you again. That is a nat 1, then a 14. The 14, I'm assuming, doesn't hit as you're able to parry to the
No.
side with the spear in both hands, and then the second sword swing comes down, and you're able to kind of twist the spear tip to catch her hand. You slice across her hand as the sword goes flying out and clatters into the corner as she kind of looks to that, grabs the edge of her shield, and brings it forward, tilting her elbow towards you, and is going to sideways, like, try to catch you in the upper chest with the edge of the shield, almost like she's trying to elbow you. I need a con save. Ooh, okay, you will only take half damage. That'll be 12 damage. 12 cut in half, that's 6 damage. As you manage to brace your hands in front of you, your arm kind of broken, you catch more of it with your forearms as the shield bashes up against you. And she kind of looks to you, takes a half step back, and will draw to 10 feet away. Please, just die. Kill me. They'll be safe. Typhon will be happy. Just...
Yeah, well, forgive me for not exactly trusting Typhon.
I don't trust him either. But when he makes a promise,
So then how
he's
can...
always kept it.
Please, we don't need to fight. We're family.
Our family line ends, and he feels he can rest for another 1,000 years.
Well, then what? He returns in 1,000 years and wreaks havoc again?
I don't know. Perhaps another fool makes a deal with him like I did.
Then we can work together to undo that damage.
Maybe your kids. No. 19... I don't know how many hundreds of years. No. No. It's been too long. As we will get to your turn, Nikos. She is pleading with you to let her die.
Oh, I'm aware.
What do, Nikos? Your shield is cracked, you have your
question.
spear in hand, your sword is still on your hip.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna say a little prayer in my head to, Mr. Dragon Boy.
Oh. What are you gonna...
You son of a bitch.
What are you gonna say to him?
Hey, you know that job you want us to do? I can't exactly do that if I'm dead. I could use a little hand here. Please? Your dragoniness?
As time kind of slows, you feel a very heavy sort of message land in your head. As I will send that message to you. Give me a moment to cycle over here. Oop.
Oh, what a fucking wild character moment. Nikos is praying to a god that isn't technically his. Oh!
I could use any of the help I can, man.
Yeah, but that's such a moment.
Can I phone a friend?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, you can attempt to phone them. If you want to send me a DM of who you're trying to phone. And what you're trying to send them.
Just making a joke, but this.
Oh, oh, that friend. No, no, you can't call that friend, unfortunately.
Don't bug couch.
It's not a vacuum. Get out of here, vacuum.
Sorry, I'm inflating the air mattress right now. It's already getting low.
Muted.
Mute your mic, damn it.
Sorry, I thought I was muted for it.
This is the message you receive in a very heavy, sort of celestial, slow-spoken kind of remorse.
Alright.
you like to do, Nikos? As Roxana stands ready, shield up, right hand empty, but in a fist, kind of hidden behind the edge of her shield.
Spear's not lurking. Let's try the sword. Won't say I didn't die on my feet. And down. Pew.
Ooh. You'll swing down, and she will bring the shield up to block it, as she does a high guard as you bring it down with both hands.
And ooh, nice.
Ooh, even a nat 1 is 12.
How
Damn.
thematic.
Roll me a d6.
Yep.
Does that sword have some special ability regarding that? Because it's the lucky sword.
The luck sword adds a little bit to the attack superficially, but outside of that,
And that one's an nat 1.
nat 1 is still nat 1.
Yeah.
As
Well, I
you
mean, there
swing
are
down,
things that
it,
do turn a nat 1 into not existent.
True. It impacts against the edge of her shield, and you see it kind of chip into the shield, but also chip a little bit at the blade as it reverberates and shakes extra. And it's kind of vibrating in her hand, but you manage to keep hold of it as your forearm starts to throb a little bit.
Offhand.
Swing again, and she'll bring the
Alright.
shield swiftly to the side and parry it.
Then. If you're watching, Dad, I could use some help.
She hears you say that as she looks to you over the top of the shield, and you see a bit of nah, not even a bit, a pretty heavy remorse take her face over, and she kind of shakes her head no a little bit. He'll be proud. One of his descendants died as he did. As she brings the shield up and is going to bring the edge of the shield down towards you in kind of a downward stabbing motion. I need you to make me a con save. That will meet, so you will take half damage. 10, 11, cut in half, that is 5. You'll take 5 more damage as the edge of the shield catches you in the upper chest and the
5, huh?
breastplate. Yep. 5 damage. As it catches you in the top of the
Oh,
chest.
boys, it's been fun.
Oh, fuck, does that down you?
Exactly.
Whew. As the two of you are fighting, all of you in the edge of your vision or somewhat in front of you can see her bring the shield down, kind of a la Captain America style, as the shield embeds and you hear the armor crack inwards. You can hear his sternum and chest kind of crush in as he is impaled on the edge of this rounded hoplite shield. As you see her kind of hold it there in a bit of disbelief, starts to pant a little bit, rips the shield out, and just lets it drop to her side as she grabs as she grabs Nikos by the shoulder and starts to kind of escort him down to the ground. You kind of drop to your knees pretty heavily, considering your chest was just caved by a hoplite shield. She pulls you into a pretty tight embrace, your armor pressing against each other. And she's putting one hand behind the back of your head, the other one's on the small of your back. As the three of you, and as your vision's quickly starting to fade, Nikos, she is heavily sobbing. And to those of you who can speak Greek, which I think is only 2 of you, you hear her in the most motherly, remorseful, pleading sob, just repeatedly, quietly saying, "Thank you, I'm sorry. Thank you, I'm sorry." Repeatedly again and again. As Nikos, you will find yourself falling forward as she will sort of reduce to kind of a dust and water as she falls back into the about 2 inches of water beneath her, and Nikos flops forward. His hair no longer flowing, no longer floating, and his body kind of losing a bit of that sheen, as you guys will no longer be melting, as the large water tendril will quickly retract off of you as you're able to gasp and breathe, your senses fully coming to you as you're able to witness what just transpired before you.
I'm gonna run over to Nikos, roll him over, and cast Revivify.
You're gonna need to cast it again. Doesn't seem to work.
Peter. Peter, what's... You've got the thing. You've got the thing, right?
As in, hang on, I want to clarify this first. Is it a burned spell slot doesn't work, or a you can't use magic here doesn't work?
It is a burnt spell slot. You spent it on a husk that no longer seems to have a soul.
Peter. Peter, tell me something. Tell me.
I'm gonna reach down and I'm gonna close Nikos's eyes.
No, you can't. You can't do that. You just, that's not... Peter, what are you doing?
Yeah, there's nothing I can do, right? Casting it again isn't gonna do anything because there's no soul there.
If you want to try to cast it again.
Fuck it. I'm gonna upcast it to level 4.
Expend a 4th level spell slot as you see his divine magic kind of reach out, and it tries to enter through the large cavity in his chest and seems to just kind of dissipate amongst the water. It finds nothing that it can grasp to.
There's nothing I can do.
There's nothing you can just... Maybe there's something I can do. I need to go. I need to be alone for a minute. I can't look at this. I can't.
He's going to... Hey, this is a nice looking alcove.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, he's gonna find a... Yeah, it's a comfy corner.
What are you looking to do from your corner?
Torin is going to pray.
What's he say?
He's going to ask for an audience.
Give me una memento, por favor. As you kneel down and you close your eyes, doing what you think is about as accurate of a prayer kind of position as you can imagine. And you can feel very kind of cold presence, and you feel yourself in a very empty space. Floating beside you in this large empty vacuum is the little music box. Floating to your other side is, for some reason, a small assortment of random things that you remember from the museum back in Boston. And a handful of stars start to kind of converge, a mixture of galaxies and large cosmic entities kind of swirl together, literally millions of light years away, but it's still such a massive, foreboding figure that it forms into, as you can see the face of the celestial dragon of Asgarath look down towards you.
It's been a while, I suppose. I don't know how your scale of time works, or your perception of it, but for me, it's been a while.
There is no time for me.
Yeah. Are you aware? Have you been watching?
I witnessed. He attempted to call on me.
Attempted?
He asked
I
for my
attempted-
help.
I asked for your help.
I did not hear it until just moments ago.
You heard it too late.
It would seem so.
What's happened?
It would seem he has died.
He hasn't just died. What has happened?
You see the galaxies, literal galaxies, kind of move as he scratches the underside of his chin idly, with the tip of the claw seeming to be a cluster of stars, possibly, maybe even a couple suns. He kind of looks down towards you again. I do believe the wife of Alexander the Great, you call him, accomplished her due goal and agreement with Typhon. Kill warriors that he needed dead until he released her. It would seem she killed the last warrior that she needed to, thus ending their bloodline and releasing her soul from his captivity. Fortunately, it would seem the one you know as Nikos, the one I assigned to be your protector as my emissary, may be in the hands of Typhon now.
No. That is unacceptable. That cannot happen.
I can only be so involved. I can
Yeah,
task others. I can't grab and manipulate things of my own. It'd be crossing a line that would give no excuse not to do it again in the future.
And why wouldn't you cross it? What's the line? Why? Why is it there?
I created this to be as original and authentic as possible so I can witness it. Without any intrusion, without anything more than my observation. And I will admit, this one has been the most intriguing. This one has been the most engaging. Never before have so many pantheons come to. Never before has humanity prevailed as much as it has. Never before has so much intrigue and involvement occurred. On a galactic scale, on a universal scale, across every pantheon, never has something been this fun to watch.
I'm glad it's fun for you, but I don't know what I am to you. I don't know why I'm here. I remember the first time you called upon me, and the others got caught up, and that changed my view on everything, and now I'm here again. And you gave me something. An assurance. And right now, I am asking for one thing.
You may ask.
You
I did.
I wish you use it now.
You see it raise kind of a celestial, spectral brow and kind of leans in a little bit and quite literally lets out a bit of a huff from his nostril, which is literally a solar flare going off and cooking unknown amounts of planets in the process. I did grant that, because I feared you may need it at some point. Although I had hoped you may use it on something more pivotal than a simple life.
I don't need it. I am not interested in reshaping the reality that you find so fun and interesting. I'm interested in my life. What I have here. That's what I care about. Do you understand that?
I care about you and your comrades, as you seem to be a elaborate and extensive idea that has positioned itself as, rightly, the only way to stop those who wish to usurp me. I was merely equipping you to combat that threat. Do you truly feel this Nikos is that pivotal to fulfilling my task I have given you?
I don't know. But it's not about what I feel. It's about what I want right now.
Those are such fickle, moral, and emotional creatures. It's just so
Is it interesting?
interesting, yes.
Humor me.
Despite everything you study, everything you follow, everything you've learned, witnessed, you still cling to smaller, trivial things that last but a blink in a matter of what is existence.
Our lives are a blink in existence. What do you expect?
I expect you to utilize what seems to be spoken of you. The strengths and the fear that has been protested of you and of your company, of your family, of your relations. Repeatedly has been denounced, slandered, and put down as the one obstacle before being able to thwart me. I would hope those claims would hold water, I believe the saying is. And you would be able to analyze and look at the bigger picture.
I don't understand.
The Levencroft name goes back a long ways, by your calendar. It has cemented itself as rather established and important in many ways, but it would seem the name has faltered pretty far from its original foundings. While still great by your current day's standards, it still manages to find itself the largest, at least rumored, defense for the greater good. I do not wish to lean, how is it said, lean too far in. I do not wish to intervene, as I want this to be as organic as possible. I'm, again, interested in how this will unfold. But I can understand your mortal desires, your cling to comrades and compatriots. There is one that wishes to usurp me, among others who wish to aid that usurping. so that they can do what I do not. Directly affect and involve and evolve and change and destroy what has already been made to fit their image. I chose you to be my protector to prevent that.
It's a tall order, sir.
That's why I gave it to you. The
I don't
last
understand.
Levencroft seniors seemed to think you were capable of it.
You know, this just seems a little bit bigger than me, and that's not a small joke.
You see him kind of grow a little bit of a smile and smirk at that. Raises one of his massive claws up, literally wiping out another galaxy in the process like it's some bubbles on top of a, like, bubble bath or water. And he kind of waves it a little bit to you. Okay. I understand that I do not understand everything. But you do have this wish, and if you would like to use it, simply state I wish and what it is you would like. But do know, I cannot grant another.
I know.
Then what is your wish, Torn Levencroft?
I still don't understand any of this. I will figure it out. You can't. Give me a minute. Here. Alright. I ask of you, Asgaroth. I wish for the return, for the life of Nikos Agros, his soul returned to his body and himself restored. As he was.
At the time of his falling?
Preferably without the holes.
Very well.
I expect to be meeting with you again. I cannot do what you think I need to do if I am in the dark about all of this. I need to understand this.
In time, you will come to understand. But you must understand not only the world, or the country, or many of the others you stand among, is so phenomenally bigger than you, and to attempt to take it all in would crush you. In time, you will be able to... What's the word you would use? Process it all.
I like cope.
Cope with it. Handle it. And I look forward to that day.
And, I suppose, thank you for, just thank you.
You see him give a very small, kind of warm smile to you. Closes his eyes and nods as you are, unfortunately, not even a full blink of an eye, you and untold galaxies are just zapped out of existence by a fucking solar ray that just, as you find yourself gasping and back on your knees, back in the cave system.
Dear God! Oh my God!
Oh, that went pretty well. All things considered.
Nikos,
Yes.
you are descending It's a large expanse of what seems to be ocean. This ocean, well, deep enough, seemingly 3, 4, maybe 500 leagues above you. You see the semblance of what you believe might be, maybe not a sun, but the light of a volcano above whatever the surface of this water might be. As you descend further down and continue floating backwards, looking upwards, you feel the water getting heavier. You feel the thickness of the general area kind of collapsing on you. You're feeling yourself starting to tighten and kind of feel yourself crushed. As it gets darker, and eventually on your left and right, you see moving past you, flanking you on either side, and climbing higher and higher up as you descend down further, 2 massive, colossally massive, just ridge lines. As you find yourself descending into nearly pitch darkness. The water is almost strangling you, the gravitation and force is threatening to crush you, as you start to kind of turn yourself over to see what you're descending towards. What's only a faint greenish light becomes 2, then 12, then 60, and then easily hundreds. It is a massive, sprawling, deep seabed floor of jagged volcanic rock, spikes, spines, and just wreckages of ships as old as time. Some ships looking very, very unfamiliar, very unique. Some of them look like they might be current day battleships or dreadnoughts of some sort, but even bigger. One's a massive gray ship with a massive flat top, almost like the carriers you have heard about. There's one that looks like a perhaps long Viking ship that has unfortunately been crushed in half by another. Maybe it's a boat or a ship, a long, massive, kind of black, cylindrical tube with a tower at the middle of it, tilted sideways with large cracks and rips running through it. You see Roman triremes, you see Greek barges, you see what looks like Viking ships, just Age of Sail ships, boats as old as time and humanity in this earth, and some that don't seem to fit in with the current time either. As you descend closer, you realize the barnacle and fish growth and the heavy water corruption is becoming more and more apparent as ghostly green lights are adorning everything in small torches. As you descend closer, you realize the entire floor. Much of the platforms, much of the parts of these ships have been pulled apart and re-put together on what seems to be a bunch of gurneys, beds, platforms, and atop many of these, facing upwards, tied down, strapped down, screaming, yelling, bellowing in sheer madness, is people and creatures of literally all types. Most of which human, or at least humanoid, but just such a large number, you're not even fully able to take it in, as you witness across this massive field of sunken ships more and more of the Telshines and hoplites, many of them sea elves and water genasi, walking around in kind of patrol and security patterns amongst all these platforms. And many of these gurneys and platforms and beds are flanked by 1 or 2 of these standing fish abominations, who seem to be grabbing barnacles and chunks of other fish and sea life, and forcibly removing the limbs systems and parts that make whatever the person on these gurneys are people. Affixing it and replacing it with just various sea life and slowly letting them drop into a crazed fanaticism as they are being turned to sea life. You find yourself getting grabbed by the midsection and pulled down by a massive fishing harpoon that yanks you down as you smack as hard as possible chest first onto one of these stone pillars. And before you can really react, you find yourself being bound, pressed down, your head getting smashed face down into the cement, as 4 of these fish-like abominations are scuttling and cursing and spitting to each other as they're already starting to try to rip off your armor, take off your boots, and one of them is already pushing over a cart filled with just rotting fish and algae and various other sea life, kind of mixed in with what seems to be body parts of many other creatures that have died at sea. And
I'm gonna definitely start thrashing for all good it will do me.
give me a strength save.
Oh.
You manage to rip your arm out of one of their grasp, punch one concaving his shell-like face in as he collapses back, freeing your other arm and trying to raise up, before what seems to be a large shark-like abomination, quite literally almost the exact one that you fought on the beach in Rhodes, slams a massive blunt sort of sword down on the center of your chest, now without the breastplate, clacking you against the cement, your back racking against it, your head hitting it, as you are held back down and they start to try to rip and pull at you again. As you're able to continue struggling against them and look out into the distance, you see the massive walking form. It's very hard to make out exactly the shape, but it almost looks like a very large, very almost obese and rotund, perhaps dwarven figure, but easily 20, 30 leagues tall, walking down this trench line, not caring that it's crushing 10, 20 at a time, kicking over a ship as it rolls over another 100 more, as it stomps its way forward down the trench, its form becoming more apparent. It's unmistakable, the large, heavy water amalgamation that is Typhon. Dark and hard to actually see through, but still appearing somewhat translucent. The water, kind of like that situation where you get the heavy sort of sulfur water that will sink and become almost like a goo in the bottom of the ocean in little pockets. His form walks over, and you can kind of make out eyes as he looks down towards you. And you feel the very faint hint of a kind of smirk that turns to a large smile. You see the hand raise up in kind of a hammer fist and starts to descend down, the fist turning into an open palm as his massive form seems like he is about to just crush you outright as your soul is in the Trench of Souls, it would seem. He seeks to fully eliminate you. As the hand drops down, about 20 feet away from hitting you, you blink and find yourself kind of hitting a force. The middle of his hand is a open, gaping hole. The side of his head is impacted as you are rocketing upwards, pulled by a celestial sort of, dare I say, fishing hook? But for the two of you that are still standing around Nikos, you kind of see him gasp and jolt.
Oh!
Torn, you're able to look around the corner. Nikos is fully healed. However, his armor does still have a large gash across the chest. Nikos, you feel yourself...
I'm going to immediately throw up.
Yeah. Funnily enough, you actually cough up 2 lungs worth of very heavy and kind of darkened black ooze like water. As the wish magic recedes from Torin, the silver ring recedes from Torin, Nikos, and subsequently from Wilhelm. As
What happened?
Nikos is breathing once again.
What happened?
Well, I think you died.
I did.
You definitely died.
I did. I did. How?
I'm gonna check him over just to make sure he's not dead.
Give me a perception, Peter.
Oh, still at disadvantage.
We'll take
Let's
the
try that
14.
again.
We'll take the 14.
Peter, did you bring me back?
As you ask that, you kind
No.
of feel a vigor about you. Peter, as you look at him, this isn't quite the same Nikos. You see, Torin, you may have been fibbed to, and you kind of realize this as you walk up. A wish is considered a level 9 spell. He doesn't deal in petty level 9 spells. That's beneath him. That's child's play. When somebody of immortal belonging, whether magical or not, is hit with the equivalent of a level 10 spell, they kind of gain an additional level. Nikos, give yourself a free level. As you realize
shit.
he is, he seems more renewed. If anything, Dragon Ball Z style, his hair is just 2 or 3 inches taller.
You got a Zenkai boost.
Is it weird that I feel better?
No.
Definitely.
Probably.
So if you didn't do it, then how did I come back?
I don't know.
I don't know. The short one walked away and then came back, and then you were alive after he came back. So something with that, I'm assuming.
Someone must like you.
It was Asgarath?
There's a chance.
Said he couldn't exactly help me during that fight, but
Maybe he felt guilty.
I don't know if he's the type to feel guilty.
Who knows?
Maybe he ran the numbers and decided he needed you to fight the Egyptian.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's good to see you back and not dead.
It's good not to be dead.
Yeah, I bet. Kind of a look in your eyes there. Did it suck?
Oh, extremely so. I went to Tython's realm. Or at least the realm he had control over. It was unpleasant.
I worried as much. Don't do that again.
I'll try not to.
Stop getting involved in one-on-ones.
I wish I would.
Yeah, from now on, we're going to stack the deck as far in your favor as we possibly can.
I like the sound of that.
You guys hear a massive groaning and grinding of metal and what sounds like
Oh, what
almost
now?
a pained kind of motion further down in the kind of cave system and temple.
The hell is that?
Uh, what? I don't want to stick around and find out if I'm personally honest.
Well, it sounded metallic. Think it might be a piece of the Colossus. I think we're
Maybe.
about due for some good luck right now. Then again, maybe I used it all up by coming back.
No, you didn't.
Well, I'm gonna pick up the brick that's still glowing because that lasts for an hour,
Alright.
and I'm gonna head off down the hallway to see.
Would
We
you
shall
guys,
see.
Like to fully explore this, or would you like me to give kind of the spark notes and highlight it until you get to the main room? What would you guys prefer?
Good question.
Self-driven tour, or sort of the DM's guide to leave you on a good hook?
Well, I know we're at the end of the session, or at the end of the time slot. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm up for staying up longer to
I'm
keep this
good.
going.
I was staying up longer.
You guys okay with putting 20, 25 more minutes in?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
I'm up. I'm okay with putting like 2 hours more in. What do you want? What you want
I
about?
don't know
bro?
about 2 hours.
Maybe not
Guards
2
might be a bit
hours,
much.
but alright.
I could do another 20, 45 minutes. I'm fine with that.
The four of you fully standing. Nikos, I need you
Yes.
to give me a insight roll.
Yep.
You better fucking fail
Actually, I'm gonna say no. I'm just a bit too scatterbrained at the moment to think on it.
Perception then.
Because I'm assuming this is to see that Torn is somehow involved in me coming back.
No.
No? Okay. Then I'll do, you said it. What was the first roll?
Perception or insight?
We'll do perception because it's better.
Your foot kind of kicks a shield that spins a little bit in place. It is battle worn and damaged, but it seems unbreakable. And as you look at it, you recognize it from enough paintings and pictures. Oh, she seemed to carry her husband's shield until the end.
No shit. Well, I'm definitely gonna pick that up.
This shield accounts for +3 to AC. Add Alexander the Great shield to your inventory, sir.
Will do.
You're constantly bitching and you're giving him better AC.
Well, no, my AC's back to normal now.
Oh, okay. I thought the +3 was better.
Well, he did just kind of
Yeah, I thought
usurp
shields were
Typhon
+2.
instead of rolling a new character
No.
this week, so he's gonna need the extra AC. As yeah, the four of you start walking your way. You feel more invigorated, you feel stronger, if not a little scatterbrained and confused. The shield feels good in your hand, and you kind of feel that familiar bond to it. Great grandfather Alexander likely would be happy for you to carry it. As you guys continue walking down, and let's start revealing the next rooms. You guys come to a kind of central plaza area, very dilapidated, very old. A lot of broken down vases and pots, but seems like just kind of a central room that branches off different directions.
I want to take a look down here first, since it seems like it's not actually meant to exist.
You know, with all the guys trying to kill us, this place just seems a little bit sad.
As you peek down there, you realize it's where water erosion seems to have just worn away, and it leads down to what seems like a larger sort of lagoon. However, it doesn't seem to be heavy water. This seems to be just a regular pool of water. Torn, approaching from that direction, you realize, yeah, this is another room of still normal water from the Mediterranean.
I'm sorry, is this a light piano cover of fucking Where I Belong?
No.
I can go the distance.
Go
Yeah,
the
yeah.
distance.
Yeah, go the
Yeah.
something. God damn it.
This place would make a great spa with some renovations.
Missing's a little heat down here, but it's got potential.
I think it was at one point.
I'm gonna need a new elevator.
What do you mean, an elevator? We have a snake in a rope.
I mean, for regular people to get down here.
That's what the rope's for.
That is not a conductive luxury spa experience.
It only makes it more elite.
That's a good point. You could sell it as exotic.
True.
Something about how it's the traditional way to access this place.
There could be money in that.
Yeah, we could watch Peter here fall down again.
What? Hey, it would be like, it would be like, Charlie Chaplin movies.
I like him. He's gonna be something.
As you
I
kind
feel like he is
of
something.
look up
He
to the
already
north,
is.
you can see where some of the wall has fallen in, and it just seems to lead to another kind of pool of water that seems to drop and turn into a underground river.
I think this might be something.
Think?
Well, this water has to go somewhere. I mean, there's a reason this entire place isn't underwater. It's because it's going somewhere.
No perception is
Let's,
needed for this one, as you all hear another groan and grinding of metals and materials.
That don't sound great.
Where was that from?
Perception check.
The other way.
Yeah, you're
25.
kobold horns and ears. Damn, yeah. Oh, now everybody rolls fucking amazing.
Yeah, right?
Damn. All of you kind of
Hang
turn
on,
your heads.
let me even it out.
Yeah, even it out. Make it a 1.
We
Oh,
all
I
have
still have it
perfect
turned
hearing.
off.
Oh,
No way.
in the most unified, amazing team roll, all 4 of you turn at the same time as you realize it seems to be coming from further to the south. It's a
20/20 vision
grinding of
bias.
metal and material that sounds almost like a mechanical, like something is trying to move.
This way, south.
What?
This way.
Like from down here or just south in general?
South in general, it's echoing like crazy in this place. Ding.
That was loudest.
Yeah, that was fun.
I've got a good feeling about this. I've never interpreted metallic grinding noises as good, but this one somehow feels, good. I think.
As the
If
four
it's
of
not,
you,
we stuff the dynamite in the walls and run.
As the 4 of you step
I like
into
that
this
plan.
specific pool of water, after a moment, it starts to go up to about your knee length and then upper thigh. For those of you that are normal human height. Hachu, what you typing?
Oh, was it loud? Sorry.
Oh,
Uh,
Yeah, we can hear
this
everything.
this mic is a lot
Put your
more
phone on
sensitive than
silent.
that one.
It picks
Yeah.
up everything. As you guys step into the water, Torn, for you, it's a bit higher up. You're feeling more and more rejuvenated. It's feeling kind of good, as if you are missing any health, you will regain it after a few moments.
There's something There's something about this water.
It's nice.
Can I roll Arcana?
Sure.
Wait, did you say all of us regain HP or just him?
Everybody.
Yeah, Torin's like, this cut on my hand is disappearing. What is with this water?
Hey, my acid burns are going away.
Yeah, your acid burns and scars, whether healed magically, are fully dissipating. To an extent, some of the older scars that you've suffered in like the last week or two are also starting to recede and kind of wither a little bit more. However, it only seems to go so far.
So yes, 25 on Arcana.
You
hang on,
can't
let me roll
tell
Arcana.
exactly how, but for some reason, Hachu, while it is healing you, it feels a little
Nope.
wrong to be in. It doesn't feel great. Torn, why does this seem somewhat familiar? You feel like this... I don't know, something about this water seems familiar. You know you've seen it. You know it's got some sort of magical property, but you can't really tell. Something about this water just isn't... I don't know. Something about it's very magical.
I can't tell that with a 25.
Unfortunately, this is a check that only really Peter's supposed to be able to know, since he's the only one that would have experience with it.
All right.
Hachu likes it, but he...
And a 13 doesn't mean I know.
It does.
Oh.
Oh, it does.
You would only need a 10 to recognize water that flows through holy soil becomes holy water.
We are under a church.
You have stumbled upon a collection of water that seems to flow just close enough before pooling here that you have a literal constant refilling pool of holy water.
I'm
got a
gonna finish
canteen.
off my canteen and fill it up. Yeah.
Add a canteen of holy water to your inventory.
Well, we'll be stacked against vampires.
Or Yanti. Or Necromancers.
Peter's like filling up like 2 5-gallon buckets. Like, come on, let's go.
You know what? I see him doing that. I don't know if it really means anything, but I'm gonna copy him anyways.
Alright, give yourself a canteen of holy water. Don't know what you're gonna do with it, but...
I don't know.
Drink it
Douse
and
myself
die.
whenever just douse myself whenever the couch shows up again.
Throw it at his head.
It's holy water.
Oh.
All of it? All of this?
Bah.
I thought that was holy water is kind of hard to get.
In this quantities, yes.
I thought you just need a priest and some water.
The bishop.
Mm.
Or a very pious monk.
Eh,
Well, I mean, we are under a church.
as good as it feels standing here, I need to find that sound. We came down here for a reason. Oh, this is too nice to leave. I must leave. Mind over matter, Jordan. You've made it this far.
Alright. You guys progress a bit further as you approach the opposite staircase that seems to lead down towards another room.
Oh, it just keeps going down. You know, I would like to see one set of stairs that goes up. Just one.
No, the only thing that goes up are those ropes.
And the economy. Oh, wait.
No, it's 36. The economy is going up, just not as fast as anyone would like.
Don't worry, World War II is
Yeah.
on the horizon. It's gonna be a boom.
Yeah, not if Huey Long has anything to say about it.
As you guys step into the
I
next
mean-
room, you realize this is regular seawater, but yeah, it's another large, dilapidated room with some overgrowth, a lot of old pots. As far as historical finds, this entire like temple complex is just oozing with finds and archaeology. But as far as current things in the moment, it's a lot of refuse and unusable pillars, unfortunately.
Moving on. This way, I suspect.
As you step to sort of a choke point that narrows off and seems to leave the temple proper, you find yourself standing in a somewhat deeper grotto that is almost forming a little bit of a kind of wave pattern against a large sandbank in the corner. It seems this is where some of the water is flowing in from beneath. The river seems to arc upwards a little bit, or rather the underground stream, and is flowing into this point here.
That's not what I expected.
As you continue walking, you see where it seems to drop down a couple steps and descend maybe 6 more feet as the water is running up and down those steps further down into the tunnel system.
Moving on.
Pressing your way through, it narrows off a little bit and the stream starts to get more shallow, and it's more like just a half-inch of water flowing over a lot of sand and sediment over the top of... You realize this isn't even part of the temple anymore. You're literally spelunking and cave diving right now, as it gets so much more warm and kind of wet and jagged around here. There's the occasional buildup of stalactites and kind of amalgamations of like horns and stuff hanging off the ceiling, and it's very kind of ocean life covered in certain spots along the ground.
I suspect this is where natural erosion managed to intrude upon the ruins. The water's warming. Dare I say this may be a coastal exit of some sort?
We are
Well, at least
over
we'll-
100 miles from the coast.
Where the hell would this lead then?
I suppose we'll find out.
Yep.
As you walk forward, you find where it seems a perimeter wall of another, what seems to be kind of hole in temple or grounds has worn away and broken inward as the water erosion has started flowing into this area, where very quickly you're able to realize it is very dilapidated and damaged, but I need a perception roll from all 4 of you.
22.
8.
Man, this damn thing keeps closing us.
14.
Torrent's fucking dialed in.
Locked in.
5-point harness, motherfucker.
Yeah, 20.
Give me one moment
Got
to
my-
double check something. Because I don't.
Oh yeah,
trust
how
my
do y'all
notes.
actually spell couch?
Do they spell it like couch like the sofa? Because that's not quite it, but it's more like
Oh no, I
couch
keep
with
trying to
a
look it up because I have no idea how to actually spell it.
Cauch. Couch.
That's sofa couch.
Actually, sofa couch is Couch.
Hmm.
He is couch with an A.
Oh, couch. Oh man.
As you guys are walking forward, Nikos, you don't really smell it. Peter, you can kind of smell iron, but Hachu and Torn, your lizard noses, that is a heavy smell of bronze and iron. Like, heavy smell of bronze and iron.
Smells like 1,000 pennies.
I believe pennies are copper.
It all has the same smell.
Copper is part of bronze.
Oh, yeah.
Well, bronze actually does have a slightly different smell.
Those are your like copper coins, right?
I have high hopes. I just need one win.
As you round the corner, those of you who do round it, give me a perception roll.
Cool.
Yeah, you only need an 8 for this one. As you guys round the corner, you can see a massive open bay that seems to have a mixture of old wooden tools, ancient levers and pulleys and cherry pickers and lift systems, and what seems to be a 90% sort of reconstructed but abandoned, who knows how long ago, giant iron skeleton and bronze coated figure that is very silently groaning. Not as though it's breathing, but groaning like the metal is settling every so often, almost like a ship does when it's in dry dock.
History check. This is it. This is it. This is definitely it.
Give me
This
history.
has to be it.
21.
It's the Statue of Liberty. Ah, it's the Colossus.
Fuck you.
They blow it up. Those darn dirty tail shades. They blew it up.
Damn you all to hell!
Those damn Assyrians, they took it for themselves.
This is it. This is the win. I can't believe you actually found it. It was following a trail that was dead for 1,000 years, and it's here. It's here.
I mean, hey, they found the Ark of the Covenant, so we found this one. Take that one, you brown fedora wearing fuck.
Hey, what'd that guy ever do to you?
I mean, we had to clean up his
Left us
mess.
to clean
for
up
no
his
reason,
mess.
I guess.
We had to clean up his mess. He left.
I'm
Meanwhile-
too.
Meanwhile, he's off in God knows whatever college he goes to or whatever he does.
Eh, It's the one in New
Nikos.
Jersey. I can't remember what it's called.
I forget which one it is. Nikos, give me a perception roll, please.
You got it, sir.
I'm seeing a logistical problem.
Almost right as Torn is saying this, you're able to spot to the left and right, there's two side rooms that seems to have a mix of pulleys, cherry pickers, levers, hook
You
systems.
can't call that. You can't call that in a bed anymore.
Oh, shut. Engine lifts. There seems to be a mixture of tools. Now, while they are far from modern, they seem to still be in relative working order.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of pulleys and stuff over here.
Is that how they got this down here? How in their God's name did they get this going?
Insight, Torn.
7.
I bet.
You,
know,
don't
I
know
bet.
how, but somehow they broke down the Colossus, rebuilt it, and somehow squeezed its entire body down here.
Insanity.
Magic, probably.
We're not just gonna pick it up and carry it out of here. I mean, a dig of this magnitude would take years to complete. And the secrecy required involved in the independent contractors and the cost, it's unreasonable.
I mean, something like this doesn't only have financial value.
Well, yes, of course, but just the cost of. I mean, just the cost alone of getting it anywhere. I mean, financial value aside, logistics. I mean, the museum spent $98,000 last year digging up pots. This is. Why do you think they didn't finish putting it together?
I would bet that Telsheen had something to do with that.
Torin, perception at disadvantage, and Nikos, you're next to him. Regular perception.
This better not be a short joke. I still got an 18. Fuck you.
Nikos, you notice a kind of that familiar, very faint grayish circle form behind Torin's head. And Torin, you get that odd feeling that you've felt a couple times now, and you're a little more familiar with it, like someone else is looking through your eyes at the moment.
There's a gray circle above your head.
Yeah, I know. What is it?
Well, while that's going on, I would like to touch the Colossus and roll Arcana on it.
Roll me Arcana.
Mesgrath's checking out the Colossus.
There's what I suspect.
18.
You touch your hand to it, and it starts to move a little bit. One of the arms that is still only halfway connected, the hand raises up a little out of the water, and then drops back down with a splash.
Not big hand.
I'm going to give it a little reassuring pat and step away a little bit and kind of shout over to everyone else. It still works!
Yeah, but it's in pieces. Maybe, maybe we can finish what they started. Or, I'm gonna ask her out. You're kind of looking right now. You got any inspiration? Hit me.
An advantage die, at least. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm gonna look at like the barnacles and stuff on here and make sure that they are just regular, natural barnacles.
Sure, maybe you should scrape those off.
Message to you, Torn. As Nikos and Torn, you can feel and see the circle fade from behind his head.
Oh, fuck!
What?
What?
It's not Asgrath.
Oh.
I'm gonna kill him. gonna kill him.
Asgarath?
No.
The one watching. So who was it of our long list of enemies?
DM, the voice I heard in my head, was there a specific voice to it?
Yeah, let me
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Whatever we're going to do here, I suggest we get moving rather quickly on it because apparently I am just a spy to our own company now. Craven knows we're here.
Ah,
Of course. Let me guess. For some absurd reason, he is working with the French.
I don't know, but that's probably a good guess. I suppose we could probably have a day or two, maybe. I'm gonna kill him. I do not appreciate these intrusions on my personal privacy. What did I ever do to him? I don't understand.
Maybe you'll set his favorite British nun on fire.
I didn't ask for any opinions.
Can I roll a perception check? Or just in general, can I see a way to start putting the Colossus back together?
yeah, roll me perception. It'll be pretty easy to perceive it.
And of course, whether or not we have the stuff to start working.
It would seem he has fallen apart to simple disrepair and just time and stagnancy. However,
All right, we got about
Despite-
5 days worth of constantly casting mending.
despite having kind of a iron skeletal core that seems to run through this massive amount of brass, you kind of realize if you can get the limbs close enough to each other, it kind of wants to repair itself. Unfortunately, it's kind of fallen into a position over time that it can't really anymore. But if you can lift and move the pieces enough, it will be able to remend itself.
We just have to get the pieces close to each other, I think, and it can fix itself.
That's it.
Maybe if we start attaching an arm to the torso, it can help us.
We've got Nikos, and I see like 2 blocking tackles over there. This'll work. Nikos,
We bring him back to life, and we make him haul a bunch of industrial equipment. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just like in the war. Ay.
also, can I get a check to make sure that these are just regular barnacles?
Yeah, give me nature.
All right.
Yeah, these are not corruptive or deep or heavy water barnacles. This is just pure water growth over time. It seems this place regularly fills up and lowers down throughout the year.
All right, well, let's get to work, I suppose.
This can't be any harder than positioning a British Mark I tank on a pedestal inside of a building. This is doable.
Hang on, let me pull up something here. I would like all 4 of you to roll me a strength. as we'll enter a montage.
Oh, I figured it'd be there.
Oh,
The
I
house
was
building theme
hoping
from Red Dead 2.
I was hoping for the Home Depot theme.
Yeah, that's what I was
Depot
thinking.
theme.
I was
Yeah.
thinking it was going to be the Home Depot theme too.
I mean, it's the boss
hang on.
battle version of the Home Depot. Let me see if I can find the original.
Alright, I gotta air up the mattress again. This thing has a leak on it somewhere.
Oh, y'all are so fucked. You're gonna wake up at 2 a.m. on a floor.
There we go.
No, I have an actual bed. It's just significantly too small for me.
All right.
Oh,
It was so
God.
crazy hard for like no reason.
We enter the reinvigorated Nikos, 4 working, sweaty, wet men montage.
Torin's
You
done the
guys,
thing where he's
uh,
tied his shirt around his waist. He's going shirtless like a guy from the fucking movie.
Oh, we didn't
What's
get
the
Hachu's
era?
strength roll.
Oh yeah, Hachu, strength.
My
Fucking-
strength roll is gonna be a lot of help for this.
Torin's hiked up his pant legs.
I mean,
he's
I
wearing
rolled
his
a
shirt
19,
around
so-
his
Just got
waist.
him like curled up around his
Shirtless kobold.
shirtless
Oh
Nikos
boy!
with 3% less fat.
Dramatic
Um,
slow motion shot of him wiping sweat from his brow.
It's the Michael Bay
Oh.
intro scene where it introduces the main character on the construction site, your average blue-collar working man called to a greater duty.
Drinking
Fun,
long,
especially
hard
blue collar.
bottle
Look
of
at me.
water.
riding his motorcycle in the shower. Yeah.
So you already know possible means of a blue collar working man, Nikos.
Well, no, I'm blue. It's a
Yeah.
blue man joke.
He's the blue man.
Cut the shot
Oh.
of shirtless Nikos dumping water on his forehead.
Hachu, despite his size, tries his best to help, but you guys run tackle and lines and hooks all around. As you start to bring this around, you realize up on the ceiling are more hooks and lines. I need all 4 of you to roll me intelligence to see if you can get a collective intelligence roll to make this happen.
Torin knows how block and tackle works.
Peter apparently doesn't.
Intelligence is more for
Oh, yeah.
cooperation.
Ah, shit,
Oh
I
my
rolled a
god.
save. -3, so 20.
23. Okay. And Hachu, intelligence, please. This should be your strong suit, I do believe.
You'd think.
Don't say that.
Here's the scene around the the fucking 2 sawhorses with the piece of 4x8 plywood on it where they're laying everything.
This
Nikos,
is a tackle. It multiplies force.
Nikos drops a block down. Hachu almost ducks and has to get nearly beheaded by the rope as Torn just gets yanked upwards and is dangling 10 feet off the ground by the rope.
Cut to Torin holding up a single block and tackle.
You see this? This equals 2 Nikos.
10, 20,
Torn holds up another one.
4 Nikos.
50, 60. Alright, you guys beat the 50 that you needed. Alright, yeah, you guys managed to bring these together as you start pulling and Nikos is putting in the work, your collective strength is working together as you're able to bring the arms and the torso around, dragging much of this over the concrete. You're having to use picks at times at the corners where it is fused to the floor and sunken in some with barnacles and sea growth. As you're chipping away at it, you realize some of the outer layering is going to come off too, but it's inevitable. But it's also like feet thick of brass. Eventually, the main torso reconnects with the hips. You manage to rotate the leg and reconnect it. The foot, you have to spend a long time chipping away at it with picks and hammers before you're able to lift it up, turn it sideways, and reconnect it to the other leg. The arms are reconnected. And you get to the hardest part, getting the head up the 6-foot high drop to reconnect it and drag it back to the top of the torso. All of you give me one final strength.
Ah, come on, this is a
Boy, you're-
leverage issue. We've got all the pulleys. 18?
Ooh, damn, Torn. Nico's putting it in, Torn doing good. Hachu and
Man,
Peter
I
getting,
almost saw it roll at a nat 20. I almost saw it. Man.
Hachu and Peter getting kind of tired and puttered out, but they're putting in as much effort as they can. Let's see, 10,
Torin over there on the
20.
left, digging troughs in the fucking concrete with his claws.
Let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40. I can't math. 10, 20, 30, 40, 45. You guys are really close. You're dragging the head across. It's kind of grinding, and you realize the ear might not make it as it continues to drag across before the neck collides with the rest of the shoulders. He might not have his left
It's
ear.
okay. It can grab its own ear and put it on itself.
Well, it's more kind of smeared and crushed brass. It's kind of sheared off and gone unless it's resmelted, but you can feel the neck kind of start to reconnect and sort of fuse back to it. And I'll switch around here to what's something fitting. Let's see, what's something here? Not Home Depot, no. Fuck it, we'll do this. Common enough.
Not Home Depot.
Not Home Depot. As you guys reconnect it, you take a breath as you all kind of slump back, and one arm slowly raises up. You hear the creaking and grinding of flexible metals like brass and iron. It's almost entirely soft, but very hard to punch through. You get the notion if you shoot this with some cannons, it'll make some divots and dents in it, but it almost seems like it can slowly kind of reform itself from damage over time. As one arm raises up and plants its palm down, the other arm plants itself, and it starts to raise its upper half up, tilts its head a little bit, brings a knee forward.
Peter, can you take some pictures of this? No one's gonna believe this.
I'll take some pictures and lean over to Nikos and kind of half whisper to him, "Say hi."
Hello?
It gets a knee underneath it and kind of leans back, sitting on one of its feet. Kind of looks left, looks right, tilts its head a little bit, and you can see the eyes slowly start to blink a little. Looks over to the left with sort of that like rock grinding meme sound, and looks over towards you. Tilts its head a little bit, looks up at the ceiling.
Yeah, you're in a cave. You've been in here for a while.
Looks back down to its hands, kind of flexes its fingers.
Peter, get my picture.
Torrent's posing.
I'll take a picture of Torin in front of the Colossus as it's still getting up.
Roll me performance, Torm, to see if it's you're able to keep your composure and pose stoic
Like that fucking guy is like, I found the pyramids, like that fucking pose.
It's that educated stern pose that you got of Torn before where he's standing up straight, his tail's kind of lower. You have the pose. You have the pose from that art piece that you got, Stoic Torn. But there's the biggest, goofiest smile and grin of excitement and historical finding. It's stoic goofy.
Also, the fact that he still has his shirt wrapped around his waist and his clothes are torn to shit from the fight.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And also, he's very ragged from the fact that we just spent the last 18 hours building the Colossus.
Yeah. It's a very mixed picture, but it fits. It's nice. As he kind of looks over towards you again, tilts his head a bit, opens his mouth and tries to speak, and nothing really seems to come out audibly, but you can hear it all kind of transfer through your heads. Give me a moment here to scroll through, because I need to make sure I remember the name. Oh, shoot, give me
Someone
a
else
moment.
gonna have to write this down. I don't have my notes.
Understandable. Give me una momento, por favor. Where is... Oh no, do I
I can't
not-
wait to.
Oh.
I can't wait to get in my notes and write Nikos dead? Question mark? And then strike it out.
Yeah, also, Nikos, you motherfucker, I saw you change your name to question marks. I fucking saw that.
you. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that shit.
I didn't know if you were gonna use it, so I was ready to hit him up after session. Back, all right, what do you think about rolling a new character?
Yeah, same. I mean, I know you had it in your back pocket, but you never know.
You gambled on me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh no, I fully did all that expecting not to come back.
Where
Did y'all fucking
is-
talk this out, or did DM just fucking spring that on you?
I never said
You
anything
fucker.
to him.
That was a
Nikos
fucking
had-
no-win scenario.
Nikos had no idea this was coming.
No, I did not.
I was curious to see if he'd like embrace hero status or keep fighting or like how he would go about doing it.
I was thinking about embracing hero status, but now he wouldn't want to die on his feet.
Yeah. I mean, he got to do that.
And he did, yeah.
Where the hell is the name? Oh, this is gonna kill me! Ah, why can I not remember the name?
Bronzy
Hang on.
McBronze face.
Bronzy McBronfe. Hang
Bronzy
on.
McBronze face.
In Greek.
It is Philip.
Bob.
No, Philip. It's actually a Greek name.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got so many layers of notes. Where the fuck? Oh, this is
It's
gonna kill me. I'm
Philip
sorry. I thought
Rhodes
I brought it to the.
Adopopoulos.
I thought I brought it to the front, but I didn't, and now I'm trying to find it.
Philip
Ah.
McRhodes.
You know what we should call it if you can't find it? Petros.
Hello, mortals. I am outside bracket. Insert name here
Don't
inside
call
bracket.
it Petros.
Nikos,
Gonna get-
how
It's
good
gonna
are your
get killed
notes?
by a random Apache
If you've taken
Uh,
in a
any.
different context.
I've taken notes.
Do you remember the name of the Myrmidon who trained you to prepare you for this very venture that he knew would be coming?
Patroclo.
Patroclos, thank you.
Yeah.
You hear in your thank you. Oh my god. You hear in your head. I'm gonna type that right here in all caps because you hear in your head a familiar voice that you had heard before. The Myrmidon who had vibe checked the absolute shit out of Nikos upon that really tall mountain when you guys went to visit Greece that time, and
Our
told
first
him
1v1.
for his told him that he'd be facing a very substantial fight and situation. When you hear Patroclus' voice in your head, took you long enough to put me together.
We're not exactly skilled with heavy equipment like this.
What are you talking about? I do this all the time.
I half expected you
Most
to
of
put
us
one of
aren't.
my arms on backwards.
Sorry
Do
about
we all
Sorry.
hear
the ear.
this or just Nikos?
All of you can hear it.
Tom, sorry about the sorry about the ear.
Kind of brings a hand up, furrows his brows a little bit, looks back over towards you. I don't need it.
I'll get you a new one.
I might be able to fix it with mending given a while.
I can only repair myself.
I'll buy you some brass. Some brass.
If you can bring me a chunk
Bronze.
of brass, and bronze, and iron, or most metals and materials, I will be able to use them.
What a time to not have mud.
The last agreement I made with Oceanus was that I'd be indebted to taking this form to protect what was left. We didn't expect it to take his children so long to put me together, but now that I am,
They all died, so sorry.
oh. I was wondering why it took Nico so long to find me. I thought I had made it rather obvious where you needed to go.
Was it?
Yeah, I have been known to be cryptic in the past. This cave, I would much like to leave here now.
Yeah, is there
I would
anything you
like
can
to
do
do the
about that?
same.
I'm not gonna get out of here. Can you just like, is there like a shallow roof? Can you just kind of, you know?
He kind of looks up a little bit at the ceiling, stands up fully as he's kind of hunched over as his shoulder blades are touching the ceiling,
Oh wow.
brings an arm down, swings it upwards, and punches through the marble and floor of the ceiling as a lot of it collapses and starts to fall down and crash as he fully extends his
Mortals below!
He extends his arm up fully and through as
Dude,
you can
give me a Hulk
feel
off.
sunlight and sand pouring in past his arm. As he retracts his arm back down and more of the ceiling starts to drop in as he steps to the side. And you now have a very visible opening to the sands up above as sand and wind is pouring in and starting to slowly fill the floor around him. He looks
I
down
never
to
thought I'd be
you,
so happy to see sand.
lowers two hands and places them down on the floor for the four of you to stand on.
Oh boy. See, this is what I call an elevator.
He kind of gestures for all of you to hop on and rest assured.
Yeah, so we were discussing earlier, we had this idea to turn this place into a spa. Anyway, are you looking for some side work, possibly luring tourists down here?
I understand I'm needed in Rhodes. The sooner I can get you out of here, the sooner I can walk there.
You can't walk the roads. There's an ocean. in the way.
He's a giant statue, Torn. I don't think he cares.
On top of that, all you need to do is walk up around through Turkey, and Rhodes isn't that far off the coast.
Yeah, maybe
A
you can-
very gentle pinch of the thumb and index finger will pinch Peter by the back of his jacket, and then the pinky and ring finger will wrap around Hachu like carrying a ferret and lift them up indignantly as they, Nikos and Torn are in the other hand. Just reaches up and dumps the four of you outside of the hole into the sand. As you look to your side and you realize directly beside you is... Let me double check. The currently closed and empty, but Anzara Syriac Orthodox Antioch Chapel.
would you look at that?
The fourth location that you were to look into. And then you see a hand reach back up from the hole and give kind of a wave side to side as if gesturing for the four of you to get away from the large breach in the earth.
Move. Yeah.
Two hands
yeah,
reach up and start to pull the sand and soil down, collapsing more of the ceiling to make it wide enough. Manhole size equivalent for this giant statue. As the hands reach up, pull himself up, both the elbows clear, his chest, and then starts to pull himself up and out, get his knee underneath him, and then comes to a full stance in the sand and looks upwards towards the sun. This massive bronze colossus with a Greek armored skirt. Currently no weapons or armor on him, but you get the notion he'll be able to acquire some. As he looks up at the sun and kind of smiles.
Gods, am I glad they sculpted him with clothing.
Looks down towards you. Gives a nod to the four of you. And you hear a kind of dismissive, "You managed to get here of your own accord. I'm assuming you can get back to wherever you need to go on your own accord as well." As he gives a very passive wave, turns, and a la Iron Giant style, I don't give a fuck, starts walking straight west.
I just hear those stomping noises from the fucking movie. Calm.
just making his way out, not giving a single fuck about roads or other people that see him walking in the open. You are currently in late evening. The sun is about an hour and a half from going down. As he slowly goes from a walk to a fast pace, then a jog, and then starts turning into a full tilt forward sprint, swinging his arms, getting his legs to him, as he starts making his way to the rather large mountain range between you guys and the coast that you had to go north and then east around on the river to get here. As he starts quite literally rock climbing up the mountain, and you can see his massive form now miles away kind of do that police, like, both legs vault over the top of a fence, over the very top peak of the mountain, and slide down on his heels and butt down the opposite side and vanish from sight.
Oh, that's gonna make the
Isn't there a
news.
town over there?
Not anymore. Oh, this is gonna be in global newspapers. Hey, that picture.
I think it would be in global newspapers when the statue showed up by itself anyway on roads.
Picture that picture you took, Peter. I need to get that to someone. Let's get my career in motion.
Let's get back to the boat and get on the plane.
Yeah, no, this has been a long day.
I'd rather not do such things close to the not very friendly Frenchman.
As you guys kind of look to each other in agreement, you decide to start walking your way back towards the edge of the river where the boat is currently docked and awaiting you. We'll end today's session with you guys walking northwards towards the river in the distance, leaving
Walking
behind,
into the sunset.
Hey, Torin, can I have a
parallel
cigarette?
to sunset.
You know, I usually don't give these away, but yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
Light it yourself, though. You got that magic. You know, light mine too.
I don't have any fire magic.
What? No, I could have sworn. Peter.
Just cast fireball in his face.
Both of you lose half of your cigarette, but it is lit. Just kind of, and half of it's gone, but it's lit. As both of you take a celebratory puff on your cigarettes, Nikos is back among the living and with you, rejuvenated and better than ever. And the line of Alexander continues to protect the Greek city-states abroad. Rhodes has its massive metallic defender, currently doing the Forrest Gump run across the bottom of the Mediterranean back to his original standing
Forrest
position
Gump
at
run
Rhodes.
or the Forrest Gump run or the Tom Cruise run?
Tom Cruise run.
The
No,
Tom
he's doing
Cruise
the Tom
run.
Cruise
He's doing the Tom Cruise sprint across the bottom of the Mediterranean.
Those fucking pointed ass fingers. He's running like fucking 128
fingers.
miles per hour.
He's moving,
Fucking...
cutting through the water on the bottom of the seabed floor. Any boats that are overhead just feel a little bit of current where the top of his head is just kind of making a little bit of a bubbled ripple, and they're wondering, that's a
One
really
British
big
destroyer
whale,
hanging out.
maybe.
You just imagine being
One
some
British
fucking
destroyer
farmer
hanging out.
watching their sheep, and then like some giant fucking thing runs by at like 150 miles an hour, just it's fucking gone.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah, the British
Some British destroyer is
sonar.
desperately chasing it down.
Yeah,
Like
wondering
sonar
what the
signature.
hell it is. Like, what is that? It's going so fast. And pretty soon you guys may find yourselves getting some message spells sent to you from some very concerned and surprised, but also very happy Orthodox priests who will find that their ceiling of their fort has a substantial amount of weight on it in a couple hours. But before we get to that, we'll end the session with you guys walking towards the boat together, having successfully finished yet another mission. And I will say this one, you didn't fail successfully or successfully fail. This one was actually fully accomplished and then some.
Let's go.
As all of you will gain a level.
But Nikos gains 2 levels.
Oh,
Nikos, you gain another level on top of the
Oh,
one because
shit,
you
really?
got hit with a level 10 spell. So you gain this
Fuck.
level for completing the mission and the spell for the literal creator of everything blessing you. Probably the one and only time he's ever going to do that.
Damn, okay.
So that means everybody should now be level... Let's see, what level is everybody?
Well, I
9,
didn't
I think.
actually do the level up for last time, so I didn't do the Boda's health. I completely forgot about it.
Oh my god, so you've been level 7 this whole time?
I believe so, yeah. So I'm still sitting
Oh.
at 45 health.
Alright. So yeah,
I mean, I don't get anything till like a level 11, but
So, bump
still.
yourself up to level 9. All the rest of you should be level 9 now, I believe. Except
gonna have to
for...
talk.
Yeah, all of you are level 9, except for you, Nikos. You are level 10. Throughout this week, I
Shit.
will converse with all
Yeah.
of you, and we'll reconvene next week. We'll have a little blurb and information catch-up for Leroy. We'll have a nice little time skip as you guys will make your way back to whatever destination you wish to arrive to. And we will begin your journey towards whatever you decide to hit up next. Good job, Wondrous Company. Catch you guys
I
all
think we need a
next week.
vacation after this.
Yeah, you guys will do a very good vacation session.
I got
or
some
two.
souls I need capturing.
Yeah, Couch is kind of dismayed. Alright, see y'all
I
next
don't know
week.
if I need to do anything.
The airplane put down at the airstrip on a cold and gloomy day, and the 6 aboard all knew their homes were very far away. The strife that gripped the forest all around them was their plight. They knew that something out there wasn't right. There were creatures in the bush, and there were soldiers in the woods. There were zealots in the ruins. There was magic that's no good. Grenades were used aplenty, guns and swords brought in, and death. When it finished, only 5 of 6 were left. On the flight back to their quarters, the new place to be their home, the dangers of their future had been surely set in stone. The content of their briefing brought their purpose into light. These 5 strangers had been brought into the fight. There are stories of the Kobold, of Wilhelm Schwartz and Father Peter too. There are tales of the Hoplite, of Leroy Copeland and Hachu. And while the details of their past and trials were never meant to spawn, the deeds of Wondrous Company will live on. Yes, the deeds of Wondrous Company will live on.